Hamilton for the Storm was the best player. In the B grade, it was Sandhurst against Golden Square. Sandhurst by 11 goals. That was 48 to 37. In the football, we all started it off here with Gisborne versus Sandhurst. And Gisborne, well, they had a big patch there where they kicked a number of goals in a row and it looked like they were going to run away with it. And Sandhurst, they had a charge late, but they just quite couldn't get there. It was 12-15-87 Gisborne and Sandhurst 13-6-84 by 3. James Lemick kicked 7 goals and he won the Rod Ashman medal, and that was unusual because he was playing for Sandhurst, the losing side, and for Gisborne, Liam Spear for Gisborne, AFL Victoria medal. And doesn't that bear well for Gisborne to win the under-18 grand final when, of course, we saw them perform well in the seniors, Ron?
Absolutely, and that was a thrilling contest too, close grand final in the under-18s. The reserves was a little bit more one-sided, but a really terrific, not only terrifically close game, but also a very high standard game in the under-18s. And
the reserves, Josh, you had a look at the reserves. That was an entertaining game as well. It was, well, always going to be Sandhurst, wasn't it? They were 12-5-77 against the Storm, 6-9-45. That was a 32-point margin.
Yeah, probably something I didn't expect to be so large of a margin, Johnny, but look, when you have a look at Sandhurst's side in that reserves grand final, had a lot of senior experience. You had Montague, you had Mitch Dole, you had plenty of great ball users that would probably play seniors in any other side this year. So probably a well-deserved win for Sandhurst, but Strathfield would say not a great start of the day for them in the twos, but we'll see what happens in the seniors.
Both sides are now out on the ground as Eagle Hawk do come out. They named 25 in the paper, but of course 3 come out. Matty Gretrix was never going to play. Jack Lawton was probably a chance, as was Dylan Hanley, but just the riches that Eagle Hawk have got this year, Paul, they've dropped. Those 3 players haven't come into the side.
Yeah, no, well, that's when you're one of the better sides, you're going to have depth, aren't you, on their lists, and unfortunately for those boys, they don't get a game, but yeah, from a club point of view, you want to have more than 22 A-graders to pick from, don't you? So things are looking good there for the Eagle Hawk boys.
It was during the year, round 1, Ron already mentioned that Eagle Hawk did defeat the Storm by 25 points at home. In the return game, though, in round 10, the Storm defeated Eagle Hawk by 34 points at home. So here, they're both on neutral territory, I guess, even though they both have played finals on this ground a number of times.
Yeah, well, as I said a bit earlier, it's 2-1 because the Borough, of course, won the second semi. But, yeah, look, I got the feeling it's going to be close, Josh. I just got the feeling it's there's not a lot between the two sides. We've seen them play against each other 3 times this year. 2-1, but, I mean, both sides won at their respective home games. The one game here at the QEO, Eagle Hawk got away in the last quarter, but I got the feeling it's going to be a close grand final. I'll be surprised if it's one-sided. I reckon it's going to be a really, really close contest.
Yeah, spot on, Ronnie. And you think Strathfield say probably taken a little bit of a longer road to the grand final, whereas Eagle Hawk, as Johnny said before, have had the week off. They're probably more fresh, or definitely more fresh legs than Strathfield say. But you look at their sides, you know, there's some great players who we've seen throughout many years. Matty Gretrix, obviously one of them that won't feature Mr. September in the grand final, which is disappointing for him, but we've got some great matchups today, I think.
We certainly have. If you have a look at the ladder, in fact, the Storm, well, they finished on top. They both obviously played 18 games each, but the Storm had 16 wins with 2 losses. Their percentage was pretty good, 225, and Eagle Hawk finished second. Their percentage 186.46, so they won 15, so 1 less game. The Storm have been on top of the ladder for probably 7 or 8 games. As we come to both sides who have come before us and the netball at ground level, and they will have the national anthem, of course, before a grand final on, which is always a stirring moment.
It is indeed, and of course it's a big day for them as well, gentlemen, so they're there as well. And it's a beautiful side here at the queue.
Ground level, Cam Power.
Just about to get the national anthem underway, Johnny, so I'll bring it up there for you. It's terrific conditions out here. It's no general sadness on the ground whatsoever, so it's superb day for footy, superb conditions. There's no real wind to deal with at the moment, so it's a good contest.
And what about in the grandstand there, Cam? You're looking directly at it. Is there a big crowd in the grandstands? But certainly behind you there is.
Yeah, absolutely. There's quite a few, not a lot of vacant seats in the grandstand as they start the national anthem, but around the pockets, absolutely packed at the moment.
Here in the Bendigo Football Netball League Grand Final of 2018. Ronnie, you and I are calling our first Bendigo Football Netball Grand Final, not only together but holus bolus, but of course you've had a lot of experience. AFL Grand Finals, you've called 5.
Yeah, don't hold that against me, Johnny. Grand Finals, it doesn't matter whether it's in the country or in the big smoke, it's still a privilege. Nice work for Eagle Hawk. Umpire holds it up, we're ready to go. Season 8 at 2018. Bendigo Football League Grand Final is underway and Neves first hand, Crone second. Knocked it down, taken though for Eagle Hawk by Daly. Handball smothered. Good handball came out to Formosa, well tackled though. Daly, brilliant bit of work. He'll take the ball for Eagle Hawk at half back.
He'll spread it wide to the outer side wing, swimming pool side. Calgary, good work. He smothered that ball, then he fed it. A little handball to Brady. Outer side now, the Storm, they'll have possession. Formosa marked a footy. It was a short ball. He'll go short down the line. Poor kick. Daly intercepts off left half back. Barnard straight in.
Within the first minute, a couple of touches.
Certainly is. Down the line. This is McPhee received a mark. He'll just slow it down. He'll go down the line again, outer side wing. The ankles of his teammates just pushed it towards the line for Eagle Hawk. Sam Harper did well, and on the outer side, we'll toss it in.
Early going, a little bit of a breeze to the city end, as we've seen in the previous game. Umpire throws it in across half forward for Eagle Hawk. Crone almost unattended, got it down to Geary, handball smothered. Trying to work it out for the Borough. Might have been a high tackle. Umpire had a little bit to say and then said, yeah, you're right. Free kick will go to Brady Collins of Eagle Hawk. Chips it in short. That's okay. Mark taken by McGlashan. Handballs off to Harper for Eagle Hawk. Inside 50 or at least to the top of the 50. McPhee takes the mark. So a chance for the Borough for their first scoring shot of the afternoon. He's got the breeze at his back. Ben McPhee, he wants to square it off. Goes back towards Collins, who gets inside 50. Long shot is a goal. Terrific kick by Collins. That was Brady Collins who's kicked the first goal of the senior grand final for the Borough. Eagle Hawk 1 straight 6. Strath Storm yet to score. Thanks to Aussie Disposals. Here's Paul Wicks.
One interesting matchup there is Cam McGlashan has started on Shannon Geary. Shannon Geary's given away a good 6 inches there, so maybe they could throw McGlashan deep to favour the one-on-ones there, I reckon, Josh.
Yeah, spot on, mate.
So
the breeze definitely carried that ball too, Johnny.
It did. It's about a 2 or 3 goal breeze. Neves is in the ruck for Eagle Hawk. Taps it. But it was just socketed out of the air by the Storm through Calgary. Spills wide. Bow probably didn't have the ball. Umpire said play on. Lawrence is over.
Oh, great chase.
Picked it up. It was by Hommelhoff
Brilliant.
of Eagle Hawk. And off right half back. He is got a free kick.
That was a terrific effort by the youngster. His kick not all that great, although it did carry almost to Nodu in the end. Was spoilt by the man in front of him. Conforti got a handball. It was at the feet of Daly. Made it very difficult for him. Close to the boundary it goes over. We'll have a throw in. It's just forward of the wing for the Storm on the main grandstand side of the ground. 3 minutes into the opening term. Eagle Hawk 1 straight 6. The Storm yet to score.
Gone 3 minutes in this opening term. A whistle on play for a hold. Go the way for Eagle Hawk. Advantage. Bow now. He runs a long way. Then he puts it to the top of 50. McPhee couldn't quite mark it. He dives in after the footy. And it is a free kick for a push. It is. Now McPhee. Too far out to score. Oh, it's an awkward ball, but it was effective. And a mark has been taken on the chest by Brodie Collins. Directly in front. City end.
Probably fancies himself here, boys, I think.
Well, he was on the breeze last time, wasn't he?
Let's see what he does with it. It's a long ball. It'll go right to the line. It's wide, comes off hands, and it's a minor one. So Eagle Hawk go to 1-1-7. The Storm yet to score. Almost 4 in the first, thanks to Pride to One property on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Storm bringing in shot. Oh, Mark dropped. Hummeloff applies the pressure, but they've got enough time to get out of trouble. Moorhead squares it off. That was okay. And eventually they settle in the back pocket. I reckon that might be Dwyer with a footy. It is. It's going to go back to the top of his own defensive goal square for the Storm. Ratcliffe clears to the outer side, swimming pool side of the ground, and they work it down the line. A couple of very good kicks, and they've worked the ball almost up to the wing where the mark is taken by Robertson.
Robertson was really good last week, but that was an ineffective kick. And a whistle on play. It's going to be a free kick to Eagle Hawk for too high. And Lockie Atherton now dishing it off by hand. Eagle Hawk. I'll move it to half forward. That's a poor kick, intercepted by Cal Geary of the Storm. Short pass back up to the wing, so a little bit of kick to kick. This is Moorhead. Moorhead, short pass. He spread that wide, finds the coach in coach, and on the outer side wing, he'll just play a little bit of tempo footy.
Yep, decides to drive it long down the line towards half forward. Up goes Curnow, had a couple to contend with. Ball at the deck, they tie it up, the Eagle Hawk defenders. The umpire says, I'll have it. Geez, big crowd on that outer side of the ground now, boys.
Yeah, there certainly is, piling up over there at the beer tent.
Both sides have settled well here. There was a few nerves early, but they look to be into their work.
Good on you, Norm. Thanks for that. As the ball goes to ground, Formosa's got it back to Coates of Storm. Goes to true centre half forward. Well-weighted kick. Mark taken there for the Storm by Lawrence. He can just chip it. He wants Curnow. Was he pushed? He wanted a free. The ball to the back. Close to the goal square for the Storm. Miles for Eagle Hawk. Tidies up. Goes towards Thompson. I think it might have been out on the full. No, he just got a hand on it. So it'll be thrown in about 40 metres around from the Storm attacking goal as they go to the Barnard Street end in this first term. Eagle Hawk 1-1-7. Stratfield say yet to score. 6 minutes into the opening quarter.
Curnow is there for the Storm. He wins the tap. Jonty Neves jumped early. Didn't quite get hands on it. Daly in there as well for Eagle Hawk. The Storm, a little kick out to Dowd. And on 50 he takes a chest mark. Dowd, he's a left footer. He'll spread it into the pocket.
Oh, well done.
It was a great bit of work there by Collins of Eagle Hawk. In fact, it was Williams. Williams comes to McIver off half back. He'll bring it down the broadcast side. Long, high kick, and it will be out of bounds on the full. And just in front of us on left half back, Jaden Donaldson will have a free kick.
Goes in very short. It's okay. Moorhead wants to play the switch. Got a player on his own. Can run away with it. Shanahan at the feet of Formosa with a short pass, but he handled it well. His kick's a ripping kick across the ground. Found his teammate who can play on. Chip at the half forward. Good lead, good mark. Heavy side comes out and takes the mark. Wastes no time. Kicks it deep inside 50 for Stratfield say. No mark taken. Good defensive work by the Borough. Looked like the Storm were going to get out then through Coates, but he was well tackled. And we'll have a stoppage, Johnny. Only 30 out from the Storm goal, who are yet to score. Eagle Hawk 1-1-7. 7 gone first term, thanks to Aussie Disposals.
30 out from goal for the Storm, who are pressing. They've been inside forward 50 a number of times in the last 5 minutes. They've had a little bit of momentum. The scoreboard pressure is not there as the umpire blows the whistle, and we'll have a stoppage.
Yeah, the Storm boys have got to lower their eyes when they're going forward. Heavy side had an open man at centre half forward who he ignored.
Big crowd in the house. Blue skies. Breeze to the city end. Dill Williams now for Eagle Hawk. A clearing kick. It's a long ball. He was looking for Not fell over. Good tap by Ratcliffe of the Storm. Outer side wing now. Storm will maintain possession. Receiving a handball there was Smith. Smith, a long ball inside forward 50 for the Storm. We're shallow inside 50 up against the boundary line. Tapping against the line there will be Fergus Payne. And 30 out from the Storm goal. We'll throw it in.
So they're pressing hard, Josh, here. The Storm had it locked in their 50 for a fair while now without scoring. Ruck contest. Neves, Curnow had the best of that and got it down. Daly, though, for Eagle Hawk, got a wide handball. Didn't find a teammate, but it's close to the boundary. Trying to run onto what was Callum Brady, but the ball's over the line. Again, we'll throw it in.
Eagle Hawk defensive pressure, fantastic. Tim Hill leading the way down there.
So they haven't hit the scoreboard yet, the Storm, and we've gone 8.5 in this opening term on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice. There's 60 out from goal, out of side, umpire hurls it in. Donaldson does the ruck work for the Storm. Good work by Collins, he'll dish it off. There's 2 Collins at play there. Now it's a long ball to the outer side wing. Now Ratcliffe swoops on the footy for the Storm. Goes down the line, it's a poor kick. Comes off hands and on the outer side of the ground. Again, we'll toss it in. Eagle Hawk 1-1-7. The Storm yet to score. 9 minutes in the first, thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
So, neutral territory, outer side wing. Thrown in. Knocked to the back of the pack for the Storm. Player might have been taken high for Stratfield, so he was. And getting up with the footy is Wallace. So Lockie Wallace can send the Storm. Oh, it's a scrubby old kick. Bounces and beats all and sundry. Heavy side, runs onto it, got a handball forward. No free kick to the Storm. Miles puts his body in, as does Hill. The umpire says, mine boys. And I'll bounce it. 25 out from the Stratfield say goal. They are, well, peppering, dare I say, inside 50s, but they can't get it through the sticks, Johnny.
They can't. It's been 8 minutes since we've had a goal on the board here. As it's tightened right up, again we'll have a secondary bounce, a secondary throw up, a stoppage. Inside forward 50 for the Storm, directly in front. It's only 25 out. Storm will press for one now. Curnow will do the ruck work. Up they'll fly. Jonty Neves, he just hit the heavens. A big punch. It was in the direction of Calgary, who's at 49 metres. He'll go back inside with a short dinky kick. It's ineffective. Eagle Hawk need to be careful here. Jack Fallon received the footy, but they're away. Now off half back. Good work, Hommelhoff. Keeps his feet. One-on-one contest against Smith. Right in front of us, broadcast side. Hommelhoff, he'll go in after the footy for Eagle Hawk. Feeds it out to Sean Williams. 51 metres. Opens up the goal. And pops it through. For Eagle Hawk, that's their second. Good build-up. 2-1-13. Playing the Storm, yet to score. Almost 11 in the first. Thanks to Holden, Colorado at Poyser Holden on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
That goal was really set up by Jed Hommelhoff there. It was the first, the second and the third effort that really set it up, because he had to take on 2 players and he won the ball. That was terrifically done and sets up an Eagle Hawk goal.
We can just see how quickly Eagle Hawk can move that ball, their run and carry, and their quick ball movement.
Terrific bit of work. So after Stratford had the ball forward for a number of minutes, Eagle Hawk take it straight down the other end and score. They work it forward. Johnny Neves is just toe poking it forward. Harper can run onto it. He's inside the 50, but he's corralled. Feeds the handball back. Now a chance for McIver. Gets the ball very short, but it'll be effective. And the last goal kicker, Sean Williams, hard up against the boundary. He's got the footy. He's about 40 out, but very tight in the forward pocket, where the old rotunda used to be.
Have the slight advantage with the wind, I think, here, Ronnie.
Yep. We'll just have to sit it out a little bit, let the breeze sort of bring it around. Geez, his last kick, he got plenty of distance, so let's see. He's not that far out this time, only about 40. Fires. He does sit it out, but it doesn't swing back far enough. Eagle Hawk player came in late. McPhee couldn't hold the mark. The ball's off hands, out of play in the forward pocket on the other side of the ground. So on the outer side, but only a few metres around from the goal face, it'll be thrown back into play. Eagle Hawk 2-1-13. Stratfield say yet to score. Ticked over 12 minutes first term.
Probably a 2 or 3 goal breeze to the City End as there's a whistle off play and a free kick for a hold.
Eagle Hawk
going to be given it to Eagle Hawk, and it is Conforti. That is a gift. Didn't see what the indiscretion was, but it was certainly in the throw-in right hard up against the point post.
He was holding the man, mate. He blocked his run at the ball by grabbing him on the jumper. So
Conforti now. Distance won't be a problem. And he pops it through for his first and Eagle Hawk's third. They're looking impressive here. 3-1-19. Eagle Hawk Storm are yet to score. 13 minutes in the first. Thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
they're getting bombarded. The Strathfield say backline boys are just repeat entries, and as we saw down the other end a couple of minutes ago, Strath had in there for 10 minutes, couldn't get good defensive pressure from Eagle Hawk, banged down the ground. Tighten up, boys.
Strathfield say have thrown Bryce Kernay down there as a spare man.
Playing one behind the ball, the Storm. Crone in the ruck with Knott. Neither one really got a tap on it. The second tap went to Knott, who knocked it to Bow, who kicked Eagle Hawk up to half forward. Bouncing footy chance again for Conforti. Beaten to it this time though by Dowd. Got a handball off to a teammate who spread it wide for the Storm. Was it too wide? No, it was off hands, went out of play. Throw in between wing and half forward for Eagle Hawk, swimming pool side. We played almost 14 minutes into this first term. Admittedly, Eagle Hawk do have a bit of a breeze, but they have started really well. 3-1-19. The Storm yet to score.
On half forward, outer side, Knott will do the ruck work. He grabbed the ball out of the air. He pushed Crone, the opposition ruckman for the Storm. So Crone now off right half back, outer side. He goes down the line. They'll set themselves. Up they go. Falls to ground. Hugh Robinson was doing some nice work in there for the Storm, but now it'll be Eagle Hawk. It'll be through Daly. Daly into the middle. He was looking for Saunders. He's good enough now. He's mowed down from behind. And a free kick will be given to Sam Heaviside. Defensively did really well, and he'll spread it wide to the outer side wing.
Found his teammate, Donaldson. Down the line with a kick. No mark taken. They try to work it forward. Storm. Player tackled. Lost the footy. Formosa's working hard down there for Eagle Hawk. Quick kick out of there by Thompson. Down the line. Was it touched? It was before it went over the line. So again a throw in. True wing outer side of the ground. 3-1-19 Eagle Hawk. Strathfield say yet to score. 15 gone into the opening term. Thanks to Priority One Property.
Yeah, both sides working well when they haven't got the football, and tackling pressure great.
Norm Jenkin at ground level on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice. Again the Storm. They'll come. It's a ball inside forward 50. Spills to the front, 51 out from goal. Thompson was there for Eagle Hawk. Also for the Storm, Wallace did well. Geez, there's a bit of willingness going on out there. Now to the back door, Daly, short pass. He'll find a teammate in Harper, still on the outer side, playing it on the wing. Eagle Hawk picked up by Mullen. Mullen will go one way, then the next. He'll go to Bow. Bow to half forward. Spills inside forward 50. Picked up by Collins. He was tackled. That was Jesse. Hommelhofer's there. 40 out from goal. He'll feed it out by hand to McIver. McIver, long shot at goal. And he pops it through. What a goal to Eagle Hawk. They increased the lead. Eagle Hawk 4-1-25. The Storm still haven't hit the scoreboard. 16 in the first, thanks to Priority One Property at Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice. At ground level, here's Norm Jenkin.
Yeah, you've got to make the most of your opportunities when you've got the wind, and Eagle Hawk have done that. They've had 6 main inside 50s, and they've put 4 goals, 1 on the board, so when they go forward.
Tossed up back in the middle. Again, Eagle Hawk out of the middle, though the handball intercepted this time by Moorhead. Got the handball to Heaviside for the Storm. Kicks it long and high towards the 50. No mark taken. Thompson the crumb, but immediately tackled by Formosa. Eagle Hawk try and work it out. Madden in trouble. Robertson's got it now for the Storm. Handball back to Formosa. Hard on the boundary. Flying shot at goal across the face. Dare I say it, but it's marked in the field of play by Tyler Miles. That was a good kick too.
And 50.
Fine Saunders.
Is it? No, it's not 50. It's Saunders. Saunders now. He'll come down the wing. Good hard lead. Conforti slides in on his knees.
Geez, they're up and about Eagle Hawk, Josh.
Certainly are. They're moving the ball very, very quickly.
Defensive side of the wing. He'll look to come in the middle. It was an awkward looking ball. Probably fortunate. It was marked by Mullen. Mullen now feeds it out to McPhee. McPhee. He'll look for Williams. Leads into the pocket. He picks up the footy. Good hard tackling on the outer side there by, looks like Formosa. In fact, it's a free kick. And it is going to be the Storm. And Dwyer, he'll come inboard and he finds Calgary.
Got a bit of time at half back. hits up his teammate in Lawrence, can bring the ball towards Ratcliffe, but he's outmarked. The kick was shallow. Riley Saunders did brilliantly for Eagle Hawk. Look out, wants to play on, tackled by the man behind the mark. Umpire said it was okay, he knocked the ball clear. Eagle Hawk now under pressure on the wing. Working hard over the footy is Brady. Got it out, but it didn't go far. Neves has got it now for Eagle Hawk. Pops it into the middle, but Formosa cuts it off for the Storm. Handballs to the running Geary. Handball over the top, heavy side, dispossessed in the tackle. Thompson did brilliantly. Got it to Harper of Eagle Hawk. Spreads it wide, that's a good kick. Mark taken by Riley McIver on the wing.
Now McIver will look to slow it down. Got a number of options on. Sean Williams leads, he ignores that. It's probably too short. Flooding back now, the Storm, and they need to. McIver goes a long way backwards to find Miles. Miles will spread it across half back now. They've done this all year, Eagle Hawk, spreading the football. It's a kick down the wing.
Geez, Mullen was in a lot of space, wasn't he?
He was. He's picked it up. He'll go short in board to Collins. This is Brodie Collins. Smack bang in the middle of the QEO here, the home of country football in this 2018 Grand Final. Short pass, McGlashan. McGlashan building here nicely, the Borough. They just don't want to give up the footy. Waits for a lead. Poor kick. He kicks it straight into the man on the mark in Ratcliffe. Just feeds out to Brady of the Storm. They'll cough it up now, Eagle Hawk. Collins, he'll feed it out to Daly. Daly now, he'll run. He'll send it long inside, forward 50. Bouncing footy to the back of the pack near the scoreboard. They'll see it over and we'll throw it in. On a scoreboard that reads 4-1-25 Eagle Hawk. The Storm are yet to score on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
You said, Johnny, the Eagle Hawk are just chip, but they'll wait and find something that'll open up, which will end up in a goal.
Throw it in the forward pocket. Crone got it down. Shark though by Bow. Finds his feet. Hooks it around the body towards the goal front. It bounces, well, it did, over the line on the fall. Free kick to the Storm in the back pocket as Bow had that flying shot at goal. And they'll bring it out. That's a lovely ball for Hunter Lawrence, who marks.
Short pass, effective to Cal Brady. Just beyond defensive 50 on the boundary line, broadcast side, right in front of us. He's a bit nervous here. He just spins the ball and then decides to kick it long. Geez, he's going to make his teammate in Wallace work for it. Whistle on play, and Wallace.
It was held after the ball was knocked away, Johnny.
It was 1 on 3. Wallace was the one. Fortunate. He'll put it into the pocket looking for Formosa. Lets it bounce. Feeds it over the top to Shanahan by hand. Too far out to score. He'll bring it into the corridor. Heavy side is lurking. In fact, it's Coates. He's lurking and takes a mark right in front of the eyes. And he'll line them up for Sandhurst's first, Strathfield State's first of the afternoon in this grand final.
Gentlemen.
Beautiful vision by Shanahan then. Just composed. Hit up his coach.
Strathfield Say now looking for their first at the 20.5-minute mark of this opening term. Barnard Street end. Can the coach get them onto the board? He starts at left. It swings. And he popped it through. It's their first, the Storm. They are trailing 4-1-25 Eagle Hawk. 21 minutes in the first, thanks to Priority One Property on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
That was good work then, going out to Formosa and Shanahan. Shanahan found himself free in the pocket because Curnow draws the crowd and was having 3 and 4 on him. So, as I said, they've got to look around, other options, and goal out of it.
Seems to be some periods in the game as well where there's Strathfield State players not necessarily watching where their man is and more worried about where they're standing, and sometimes Eagle Hawk are being able to run it inside forward 50 a bit freely.
Back in the middle, tossed up, Neves got it down. Crone got a second swipe at it, knocked it forward for the Storm. Eagle Hawk player tried to run onto it, didn't think he had the football. The umpire agreed, so Dill Williams took the advantage. Handballs off to the run of his teammate, who kicks the ball long for the Borough up to half forward. Trying to run onto it, controlled that pretty well was McGlashan. He got it off towards Williams, that's Sean Williams, almost to full forward, no mark. Neves had it, lost it. Defenders work overtime for the Storm, they do okay. The short one comes out to Ratcliffe. Wasn't the required distance, the umpire said, but he had enough time to kick it across the ground and clear for the Storm.
Clears through Cal Geary down the wing. Got a hard leading Robertson on the outer side. Took a nice chest mark for the Storm. Defensive side of the wing. Now he'll kick it down the line. It was to a one-on-one contest. Donaldson was his target, couldn't find him. Now it is Eagle Hawk. She's at handball, made them work. Mullen. Again, Eagle Hawk, they've got the safety of numbers. Comes over the top to Collins. Ball still in dispute at ground level, out of side. They dive in after it. Umpire's letting things go, which I like, hard up against the boundary line. We're on left half forward for Eagle Hawk, and it's 4-1-25 playing the Storm, 1 goal 6, and we'll throw it in.
Ross Kerno's just hobbled off to the bench as well, and he's taken the boot straight off, and they're having a look at that right ankle of his, so one to watch out for up there in the box.
Neves, Crone, bit of a dead heat that one, down to ground level. Here's Mullen for Eagle Hawk. A little bit of Candy, finds some space, chips it into the forward pocket. Target out there was McGlash, and he couldn't get on the end of it, and the ball rolled out of play. About 35 around from the Eagle Hawk attacking goal, Johnny. So they'd like another one here with the breeze just before quarter time. They're 19 points in front, but they'd like just a little bit more, I reckon. They've had a pretty good quarter.
Certainly looked more potent up forward than the Storm, as it shows on the scoreboard. Got a whistle on play, and I think it might be that the umpire didn't throw it in well enough.
You're
And
right.
the young fella will do it all again. Nervous times for the umpires.
Both sides finding it difficult to score, to get 3 players inside 50.
That's better. Now Crone taps it to the front for the Storm. Another whistle on play. Free kick for a hold. It'll be Coates that receives a free kick for the Storm.
He played that well, actually, didn't he? Just drew the free kick.
He sends it long, looking for Shannon Geary of the Storm, but over the top for Eagle Hawk. Glenn Daly, the architect, big punch from behind and pops it over the line. And again on left half forward for Eagle Hawk. We'll toss it in.
So, bit of a stalemate the last few minutes. Eagle Hawk with a very handy 19-point lead, but they do have the breeze in this first quarter. Crone got it down, but Collins took it back to Neves. Hurried one inside 50. It bounces close to the boundary again. Fallon's had a quiet quarter. I haven't called him. He can't gather the footy here either, and the ball's knocked out of play. So again, Johnny, a throw in. It's only about 35 to 40 around from the Eagle Hawk goal. Under the scoreboard on the outer side. 4-1-25 Eagle Hawk. 1 straight 6 Strathfield say, with thanks to Holden Colorado at Poyser Holden.
Up they'll go in the ruck. Oh, grabbed it out of the air. There was Sean Knott. Banged it on the boot. Goalward. But it was wide. And for Eagle Hawk, it's another minor score, which takes the Borough to 4-2-26. The Storm a 1 goal straight 6. 25 in the first, thanks to Priority One Property at Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Calgary plays on from full back. Gains a few metres. Then spears the ball to the outer side. Big fella there, Crone. Controlled it okay on the bounce. Hooked it around the body up towards the wing. The target out there was Robertson. It was knocked away from him. We'll have a throw in. So still on that outer side, swimming pool side of the ground. True wing, it'll be thrown back in. Eagle Hawk 4-2-26. Strathfield say 1 straight 6. Well into red time, Johnny. We've played 25 and a half into this first term.
Umpire will hurl it back in. It is the Storm. They are trailing. They're kicking against probably a 2 or 3 goal breeze as it comes into the middle. Shanahan picked it up nicely and then dished it off. Here come the Storm inside forward 50. In the shadows of quarter time here, can they get another one? Bow might have been tackled without the footy. Umpire let it go. Now the Storm receiving a ball. There was Wallace. Has a shot at goal. And he's popped it through. The Storm, they inch closer. 2 goals straight. 12. Trailing 4-2-26 Eagle Hawk. 26 in the first, thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Ross Kerno got the knee heavily shut down here on the bench, and they probably didn't need him obviously down there at centre half forward, but I think for the rest of the day he's going to have to sit down there because their firepower without Sharpie, they're going to need someone.
Yeah, he's still looking a bit proppy though as he hobbles around looking to go back on.
14 points the lead for Eagle Hawk late in the first quarter. Neves got it down, but taken by Shanahan of the Storm. Hurried one. Didn't gain much territory. Eagle Hawk can repel. Off half back. The kick towards Dill Williams. Under a bit of pressure. Forced to go to ground. Just got the handball out in the nick of time. Didn't hit a target though. Shanahan to Formosa. To Moorhead who overran it. Picked up for Eagle Hawk and kicked around the body as the player was going to ground. Knott was the target. Bow, the crumb, bounces off a couple, tried to get a handball out. Moorhead's got it, just got a handball to Crone, and now they knock it clear and the Storm can go forward.
Lawrence is the target. He lets it bounce. Donaldson grabbed the footy, then tried to feed a handball out. Was ineffective, but a whistle on play for a hold.
JD.
Donaldson will get a free kick. 45-degree angle. He's too far out to score. It's a short pass. It's a low, ugly bouncing ball. It goes deep inside forward 50. The Storm are pressing here. not far out from goal, into the hot spot, picked up by Heaviside, puts it around the body, but it's all Eaglehawk and they'll clear to the outer side of the ground.
40 the target, didn't take the mark, got to butter up, he's outnumbered. Teammate comes in to try and help him out, that was Fallon, but Ratcliffe's got it for Stratfield, say, short into the pocket is okay. And he's found a teammate, and the mark taken out there is Fergus Payne.
Bryce Curno's just come back onto the ground, but he's still looking very proppy, heavily favouring that left knee.
So Payne, deep in the forward pocket. A shot at goal for the Storm. They trail by 14 points at the 28-minute mark before the kick. And watch him as he's on the runway. Or kick from about 40, but tight angle. Fires. He's narrow. It's a behind. So that's the Storm's first blemish. They're 2-1-13. Eaglehawk 4-2-26. 28.5 into the first term. Thanks to Priority One Property.
Glenn Daly kick it in for Eaglehawk. Big crowd behind him as he kicks it in. He goes short down the line. It was effective. Finds Harper. Harper now for the Borough will look to spread it wide. It was a dangerous kick. He was looking for Mullen, couldn't find him. For the Storm though, Kel Brady, he's done well. Now it's a contested ball. Nice bit of work over there.
They want it back to Borough.
They did. Borough now. Good tap to Knott. Knott will now go in the direction of Williams. Couldn't quite grab it. Under pressure here was Dwyer. Feeds it over the top to Smith, and Smith sends it to the outer side and finds Geary.
There's Corridor. It was a dangerous kick, landed at his feet at Bonnie, but he was able to control it. As the siren goes, it's quarter time. Good opening quarter. Here's John Hunter to take up the call in the second term for Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Umpire holds it aloft and they'll go up. Jonty Neves jumped early and jumped high for most of the Storm. Tried to clear it, but couldn't. But the weight of numbers through Donnan. Inside forward 50. Good diving mark by Hugh Robinson for the Storm. Takes a chest mark, and within the first 15 seconds, he's going to line them up for the Storm.
Yeah, Oscar Madden probably getting a little bit caught behind there as the ball floated in, but a good mark taken there on the chest by Hugh Robinson.
He will have a pretty strong breeze. We think it's 2 or 3 goals, which, of course, this second term will tell the story. The Borough of Eaglehawk will be very quiet at the moment because it is a huge crowd in here. It's just a sea of light and dark blue. Robinson now. Slow and direct approach. He starts it wide, it drifts and it slams into the post. They needed it, but couldn't quite get a major. So 2-2-14 the Storm, 4-2-26 Eaglehawk. Just under a minute in the second, thanks to Priority One Property on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
The architect brings it in. Daly finds his target there in McPhee. About 35 from the goal he's defending. Chips it to true centre half back. Mark taken by McGlashan. Handball off to the run of Miles. Went over the head of his intended teammate. The ball knocked to the back. The Borough's still a chance. Collins has got it. Gets through some traffic. Chips it into the pocket. Didn't hit the target, but Sean Williams can run onto it and kick a goal. That's his second. And the Borough get a very handy one early going into the second term. Eaglehawk 5-2-32. Stratfield say 2-2-14. A minute and a half into the second term. Thanks to Aussie Disposals. Is the Norm Mudjenkin. No, go to you, Wixie.
Look, that's Eaglehawks, the way they play the footy, isn't it? They're just patient. They'll hand-pick targets. They just waited till there's an option, hold it again, waited for another option, bang, goal.
The old classic 2-goal turnaround there. Storm will be disappointed. Will come through the middle here. It was good by Fallon. His handball was smothered. Here's a chance for the Storm. Inside forward 50 now. Hugh Robinson attacked the footy. Got the numbers. We're 40 out from goal. Eaglehawk, they'll mop up through Thompson. He'll feed it over the top. He'll be looking for Bow. Outer side. Bow picks it up. He was probably tripped after he got rid of it. Skews to the outer side wing and tumbles over the line.
Now, Josh McKee, that's what you call being thrown under the bus, I reckon, what you just done to me then.
He normally had the microphone up his mouth ready to go.
5-2, 32 Eaglehawk, 2-2-14 the Storm on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast as Neves knocks the ball clear, but there's a whistle. What's the umpire saying here? Do it again. Do it again. He didn't have his fighter, Brett, said boundary umpire this morning, or maybe he did. He's going to get another crack at it. So it will be Neves and Crone. Crone this time got it down. Bowes there for Eagle Hawk though. Gathers the footy, hooks it around the body about 25 metres. Finds Mullen. Hard up on the boundary, takes the mark for the Borough. Just forward of the wing now. Just drops a dinky short one. Didn't hit the target. It's a Strathfield same mark. Geary of the Shannon variety has it at half back.
Shannon, and now he goes long from whence it came down the outer side wing. They'll set themselves. Formosa at the back of the pack, couldn't quite collect it. They dive in after the footy. Robinson did well, so did McPhee of Eagle Hawk. Tries to handball it to Mullen, who I think's been pretty good for the Borough. Couldn't quite get it. Tumbles over the line. On the outer side wing, we'll chuck it in. So it'll be Neves.
I'm not getting so much fan love in the box, Josh. I don't get anyone waving to me.
Popular man, mate.
Crone
Very
now
popular man.
to Donnan at the front of the pack for the Storm. Back to Crone, ground level. Picked up quickly by Cal Geary of the Storm. He'll send it to left half forward. Contest, ground level. Just who can emerge with the football? It'll be Donnan. He spreads it wide to heavy side of the Storm. Short pass in the direction of Robinson. He collects too far out to score. He'll bring it into the corridor. He'll be looking for Fergus Payne, who's at 50. But backing up for Eagle Hawk, Jack Fallon did well and spread it wide to a teammate, and they're away.
That was Madden who went short, found Josh Bowe. And he is defensive side of the centre. True centre half back pretty much. Spots something he likes. It's Mullen again. Look out. Just got boot to ball as he played on. Long to fall forward. At the back. Harper gathers. Handballs off. Snap it goal. Neves. It's another one to the Borough. Johnny Neves kicks his first goal. And Eagle Hawk move along to 6-2-38. They lead the Storm 2-2-14. 5 into the second quarter. Thanks to Holden Colorado at Poyser Holden. Here's Josh McKee.
Yeah, the run of Joel Mullen there just worked so hard. He got his kick. He found his coach in the middle. Worked again, and ended up in a goal. It was a beautiful goal by Jonty Neves on the left boot.
And as we said at quarter time, Strathfield say worked their way back into it, but the Eagle Hawks quarter this led by the coach Josh Bowe. He's come right into it, so no coincidence.
Yeah, Coach Coates wouldn't be very happy. He asked Strath to in the corridor during this quarter, and it's not happening.
So Eagle Hawk again, they'll go deep inside forward 50. They're pressing. Oh, they're out. It's a wide ball. Could have picked it up there. McIver couldn't grab it. Hard up against the line. 30 out from goal, tumbles over.
Tell you what, the Borough fans at that end of the ground, they're enjoying themselves at the moment. Wixie.
Getting plenty of play down there, and yeah, they've built up down there too. There's a massive crowd down there.
Huge crowd around the outer side.
Absolute sea of them down there.
Yeah.
Feels like Groundhog Day to me. Remember last year, Eagle Hawk were in
Don't
front
say
a
it,
long
Johnny.
way
Don't
until
say it,
three-quarter
Johnny.
time. But there's a big difference this year. There's no wind and there's no Lachlan Sharp. Storm just need to get back onto the board to get a bit of confidence as we tread water inside forward 50 for the Storm at 49 metres. They all look at the umpire and put their hands up and say, blow the whistle, and he does.
Mr. Dean Goodridge.
And we'll ball it up. 49 out from goal, 38 playing 14. It's with the Borough at the moment.
Not Crone. Crone got it down. Chance for Brady to try and clear, but he's held up in the tackle. Storm look like they'll work it out. They do. Geary got a handball off. Released a teammate who kicked forward to the centre circle. Running onto it is Donnan. Can he get a snap at goal? He bounces it as he was harassed, and it trickles over the line in the forward pocket for a boundary throw in. Deep forward for Strathfield say. Eagle Hawk 6-2-38. The Storm are 2-2-14. We're ticked up to the 7-minute mark of the second term. Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
It's interesting watching Bryce Curnow go down into defence and then run back up forward. He's certainly playing it hard.
Inside forward 50 now for the Storm. Can they get one? Curnow tried to put it on the boot and couldn't, and he threw the footy. Eagle Hawk will have a free kick through Dill Williams.
Very proppish, isn't he, Curnow?
Crime-free day in Eagle Hawk, apparently here on the grapevine. Ronnie?
What was that?
Crime-free day today.
Crime-free. Cut that stuff out.
Come on.
Out of side, underneath the scoreboard to Thompson. I'm only being serious, you know
There
that.
might be some celebrations later tonight. I don't know whether it'll be crime-free later.
Thompson now, here we go, short to Tim Hill. Tim Hill in his defensive square. He goes beyond 50 to the outer side. It was a good kick. Collins now, short pass to Neves, off half back. Short pass again into the middle. McPhee dishes it off by hand. Good bit up to Collins, but he's going to cough it up, and he kicks it straight to Fergus Payne.
Yeah, downfield here, boys.
Yeah, it's going to go to Riley Saunders, who, after Collins was clocked after he got rid of the ball. So Saunders is in the middle of the ground for Eagle Hawk. Wants to draw the man on the mark. Dangerous sort of a handball. Made it hard for Mullen. Sold a bit of candy, though. Got it off to a teammate, McGlashan, deep into the forward pocket. In fact, he overcooked it, and it went out of bounds on the full. And a free kick will go to Shannon Geary for the Storm in the back pocket on the broadcast side of the ground.
He looks to spread it wide. They're all doing it to the outer side. He's back half. It was an effective kick. So the Storm will again come across in that back zone. It's deep to Calgary. Calgary runs. He has a bounce. He'll come to the broadcast side wing looking for Donaldson. Good clunker. In fact, it was a juggling one, but it doesn't matter. It's in the book for a stat. Defensive side of centre wing. He goes to Robinson. Good, strong, hard mark. He led at it nicely. Short pass. He's got an option on, which they're moving it to Fergus Payne. Fergus Payne. He goes wide inside forward 50, letting it bounce with Shanahan. Hard up against the boundary. He'll put it to the top of the square to heavy side. Takes a one-hander and 10 metres out from goal. Not much of an angle. He'll line them up.
Very smart play there. Could have blazed away. Check side as you probably would in a grand final, Ronnie. It just didn't blaze away, just kept his cool and found his teammate.
Opens up the angle, goes around the body and puts it through. Good work, heavy side. They needed that one. That will take the score to 3-2-20. Strathfield say Eagle Hawk 6-2-38. 9.5 in the second, thanks to Priority One Property at Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Kerno's off the ground again. The boots are off and they're reassessing, so he is in real struggle straight at the moment with that left ankle.
That was a good build-up by the Storm, wasn't it, Wixie?
Yeah, it was, mate. As we said, Kerno was off the ground and the other key forward, Robinson, taking the mark 70 out, so they had to work out another option, and they did good running the ball down there.
So, it's a pretty good contest, as you'd expect. Throw up in the middle. Crone and Neves, ground level. Dill Williams, tackled, lost it. Comes back to Crone. Hurried it on the boot, didn't go far. Daly did well, got it for Eagle Hawk to Collins. Kicks it forward to the wing. Running onto the footy and taking the mark was McIver. Kick not the best, made it hard for Big Sean Knott. Got to go at ground level. On hands and knees, got a handball. Homoloff got absolutely pummeled high, and they're not happy, the Eagle Hawk boys. They are not happy keepers after that one. The second one, the first one was high, the second one was late, and the umpires reversed it.
Reversed it, a bit of a knuckle there, Shannon Geary.
Well, that's not going to make the Eagle Hawk folks too happy, because that was a deliberate or shocking free kick.
You can hear it.
And now the free kick is with Shannon Geary.
Oh, setting himself high was their Payne. He got one of the chin as well as the ball spills to the wing broadcast side. Tumbles over the line, Wallace on hands and knees, and will again throw it in.
The reversal was probably because of Sean Knott, I'd say. He went in pretty late.
He wasn't happy, and he's got to stand up for his little man. That was fair enough, Wixie.
Absolutely.
Flying the flag, they call it.
Yeah, absolutely, mate, that's right.
True centre wing. Crone does the ruck work. They let it bounce. Double, well, they probably mucked themselves up, Eagle Hawk. They did. Calgary just grabs the footy for the Storm. A left-footed at the top of 50. Oh, a mark. Yeah, it was again. So we've seen that happen twice in about 10 seconds. Now heavy side picks it up on half forward, but it's an awful-looking kick. Tim Hill is there. He loses the footy. Inside forward 50 for the Storm. Geez, it's a willing passage of play in there. They all dive in after the footy 40 metres out from goal, directly in front. We'll throw it up, and Storm are doing their tacking. 38 playing 28. They are trailing by 18 points, 12 into the second on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Neves got it down. Jack Fallon's there for Eagle Hawk, dives on the footy, tries to knock it to Miles, did pretty well. Miles can run around on that left foot, kick it high and wide, running back with the flight, gutsy mark. That's a terrific mark by heavy side. He didn't, well, he would have known something was coming, boys, but he was able to hold the mark running back with the flight. Now can have a shot at goal from 50.
Sam Harper could have absolutely nailed him then.
Yeah, but he probably, I know, it is a grand final, I suppose. Can heavy side kick the goal? You'll have to kick it 50 odd metres. He won't. He'll sit it up to the top of the goal square.
Whoa!
Big leap, no mark, ball to the back. Can they manufacture a shot at goal? The Storm, the Eagle Hawk defenders. Miles there, working hard along with Sammy Thompson, and they knocked the ball out of play for a throw in. 25 around from the Stratfield say goal.
Big fly from Lockie Wallace.
Jeez, he sat on some shoulders there. Was never going to mark it, but it was spectacular at the very least. Up they go in the ruck. Ratcliffe.
Eagle
Whistle
Hawk
on play. And the Borough get a free kick in the defensive zone.
Tell you what, for a bloke that went in under a bit of an injury cloud, Neves has been pretty good in the ruck.
She's got one high there in the ruck contest.
He's been real good around the ground.
Put it to the outer side now for Eagle Hawk. Not lets the ball bounce. Formosa, how he stole that footy and gave it to Cal Geary by hand. His kick was smothered. Now spills towards Daly. Geary tries to butter up his own ball. A lot of whistles going on here.
Let the game go on. It's the grand final.
And it looks
that
like
was
Cal
soft.
Geary. Let it go, Ronnie, because there's a number of whistles going on half forward. Here's Cal Geary for the Storm.
So, Tufo had to score even with the breeze. He'll set it up. Top of the goal square. Big spoil put on by the defence of Eagle Hawk. Gathered for the Storm, but the handball charged down. Neves did brilliantly. Got a handball out to Dill Williams. He's under the pump. Needs support. Got a handball to McIver. Surrounded. Coughs it up. They dive in. Picked up by Brady. Kicks it forward for the Storm. Back inside 50. No mark to Ratcliffe. Almost a year. Had enough of it. Not quite. Felon for Eagle Hawk. Handballs to Neves. Look out. Held up in a gang tackle. Umpire
He's
said
pinged it.
holding the ball. He had no prior opportunity. But the umpire said you're holding the footy. And the free kick will go to the Storm, and 40 metres out, it'll be Lockie Wallace will have the shot at goal.
I didn't think that was holding the ball. He had no prior opportunity. Unless we're seeing something from the other side, or the umpire seeing something from the other side, there was absolutely no prior.
Now, Lockie Wallace, he's already kicked one, so he's lining up for his second to bring Storm a little closer. Sits it up on the breeze. It floats goalward and through. Eagle Hawk 6-2-38. The Storm go to 4-2-26. We played 14 and a half into the second term. Thanks to Aussie Disposals. Here's Paul Wicks.
Yeah, the game stepped up a notch, hasn't it? Both sides cracking in. As we said before, a couple of those tiggy-tucks with free kicks. Just let them go in the grand final. But I think the umpires overall are doing a pretty good job. But yeah, just let the game go on. But it's a good battle. Fierce contest.
Got to give the bloke playing the ball a bit of latitude to get rid of it, and he just had no prior whatsoever. So I thought very stiff there, but anyway, the umpires control the game.
That was better work from Strath then. They got just reward for being able to lock the ball in their forward 50.
Back in the middle, Donaldson does the ruck work for the Storm, but it'll be Neves of Eagle Hawk. It's an awkward ball on the left to half forward, bounces over the top. McIver will run onto it. He'll run to 50. He'll send it long to the Barnard Street end, wide. In fact, so wide, it's out of bounds on the full. It's slammed into the post, and it will be no score. Disappointing result after a good build-up.
Storm waste no time bringing it in. The target was Geary. Couldn't take the mark. Collins works hard. Got the handball to Harper for Eagle Hawk. Goes back inside 50 and Dylan Williams marks. Only 25 to 30 out. Not much angle to speak of. And, well, this could be the quick answer, Josh.
Yeah, very well set up there. Eagle Hawk didn't rush. Just steadied and found Dylan Williams, who was probably, 25, 30
Yeah,
out?
25, 30 out. No more. So we're just watching Bryce Curnow limp off as Williams, deliberate, fires, makes no mistake. Good goal. Eagle Hawk steady, 7-2-44. Strathfield say 4-2-26. And that is thanks to Aussie Disposals. Here's Paul Wicks.
That's probably the benefit of not having Matt Gretrix in for most of the year, I reckon, Josh, because they just options are plenty. They look better from probably the wing heading into their 50. And, you have to look around and see what options you got. And that was a good build-up to a goal.
The way Eagle Hawk are moving is too quick.
Good reply by Eagle Hawk. They kicked the first two. The Storm kicked the next two in this second term, and Eagle Hawk have replied. So, seesawing battle here in the middle. The umpires letting it go. We're looking for a secondary bounce, a secondary ball up. It doesn't come. Good work, umpires there. I liked it. Bo dives in after
Over
the
the
footy.
shoulder.
So Eagle Hawk will get a free kick. Plays on quickly. Runs through the middle. It's an awkward-looking left. He spreads it wide, broadcast side. McGlashan lets it bounce. Might have got a push by Geary. Umpire let it go. In fact, it was McIver. Now it is the Storm. Here they come receiving a ball was Hunter Lawrence, and a whistle on play. Umpire Goodridge. I reckon
Riley McIver running past just gave one of the Storm players a little bit of a whack off the ball, so it was a downfield free kick.
There wasn't much in that.
Yeah, what are we playing, netball or football?
No, you're right, there was not much in that at all. They were both running for the ball, and it was almost like he gave him a little bit of a bump, so definitely
What
a
he
bit
should have
stiff.
done, the umpires, went over to McIver and said, listen, I saw that. Do it again, I'll free kick you. It's a grand final, for God's sake.
Bonnie now has a free kick for the Storm.
Soft as butter.
hard up against the boundary line. He's beyond 50. He's in the rifle pocket. He's a long way from goal. Well, the angle's not too tight. If he can just get onto it, he needs to start it right. He doesn't. He starts at left. He won't make the distance. Big punch comes across the face. It's still in. Now it'll be Eagle Hawk. They'll clear it through Collins. Handball over the top to Bowe in his defensive 50. That was okay to Atherton. They need to be careful. Bowe receives a handball to Fallon. He'll put it dangerously back to McGlashan. They dive in on top of him. And they probably mucked around with it, didn't they? And eventually umpire Goodridge will throw it up. 70 out from goal for the Storm.
Tossed up. They'd like one here. Strathfield say the ball to ground level. Not knocks it forward. Lays a big tackle on Lawrence, but I don't think he had the footy. He's a bit angry at the moment, Sean Knott. Got a bit of the anger pills going on. And they're giving it to him a bit too.
Didn't want to get in front of him.
Yep, Hunter Lawrence with the free. 75 from goal for the Storm. Just drives it long, but it's a horrible looking kick off the side of the boot. Pitches and then rolls out of play. The umpire says throw it in. 35 around from the Storm goal. 19 gone into the second term. Eagle Hawk 7-2-44. The Storm are 4-2-26. Thanks to Priority One Property. Here's Johnny Hunter.
They've had enough of it forward, the Storm. Donaldson does the ruck works. Shark by McPhee of Eagle Hawk. Then it goes back to the Storm, or front of the square. Calgeary bangs it on the boot. Will probably get one too high. The umpires
paid the advantage.
There's no advantage there.
And then he said throw it in.
It's in fact
I reckon he thought after he paid it, I shouldn't have paid that free kick.
I thought he ducked on that one.
Hard up against the point
So
post.
then he slaughtered him with the advantage. Cooked him.
Forward pocket for the Storm. Umpire hurls it back in. Donaldson doing a lot of ruck work for the Storm. It's hacked out of the air for the Storm, right to the line. Cam McGlashan takes a good saving mark and he'll send it. Oh, he's coughed it up. He's kicked it straight to Hunter Lawrence, who is close enough to score here. He's on a 45-degree angle, and the man on the mark, Hommelhoff for Eagle Hawk, stands at 40.
Geez, I thought that was a bit stiff for Eagle Hawk there, not to gain at 50. Straight over the mark.
And the pressure that came was what affected the kick. So it wasn't a skill error per se. It was more a pressurised error.
City end. I'm looking right over the left shoulder of Hunter Lawrence of the Storm. Walks across the paint of 50. Then he trots in. He starts it right. It swings nicely. And the Storm get one back. 5-2, 32 the Storm. Eagle Hawk 7-2, 44. Almost 21 in the second, thanks to Holden, Colorado at Poyser Holden on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
And the next centre break will be crucial. The last three centre breaks have all gone Eagle Hawk's way. Strath were able to get the ball from defence up forward and hold it in and get just reward. So we'll see how this next centre break goes.
So the ball in the middle. McGlashan's, I think, having a run. No, it is Neves. Got it down to Neves, and he'll get it back from a teammate. Just slams it on the boot to half forward. Goes to the back of the pack. It's all Storm. Ratcliffe on the end of the handball. There's Hunter Lawrence again. He'll take the mark. The last goal kicker, defensive side of the wing, main broadcast side of the ground. Floats it forward. That was a lovely ball. And the mark taken by Lockie Wallace, who's been lively for the Storm. Awkward left footer to the 50. Is that a mark?
Yes.
It is.
Donaldson.
Big Donaldson, the big burly defender come forward, isn't he, really? And he's taken this mark right on the 50 with the breeze at his back.
He's a defender while Curno's on the ground, and when Curno's off the ground, he's been moved forward. That's happened about 3 or 4 times, and he proved a target for him, so hopefully he can go back for Strath and kick it.
He's a thumping kick here.
So the man they call JD, 50 out. He'll kick just outside the arc. He fires, got under it, plenty of distance. It's a goal. So it just tightens up here at the QEO late in the second term. 22 gone. It's Eagle Hawk 7-2, 44. Strathfield say 6-2, 38. Thanks to Priority One Property. Here's Paul Wicks.
They're working hard now the Strath side. Early in the game, they were getting sucked to the ball, which left too many free Eagle Hawk players out, but they've seen them manage that and work in their territory a bit better. So it's game on, boys. 1 goal difference.
And that's their 4th mark inside 50 this quarter, something they weren't able to do in the first quarter.
Back into the middle we'll go. Late again in this second term. Donaldson's proving lively. He's getting a lot of hands on the footy as the ball skews to the outer side Left half forward for the Storm again. Thompson
that's for
Eagle Hawk. Dived in underneath it. Lawrence now. Here come the Storm again at 50. Long shot at goal. And it's a minor score. Oh,
Look good off the boot.
jeez, it did, didn't it? 6-3-39 now the Storm. 7-2-44 Eagle Hawk. 23 have gone in the second thanks to Priority One Property. Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Cracking grand final so far as Glenn Daly looks to bring the ball in for Eagle Hawk. Doesn't like initially anything he sees, so he goes for an almost bullet-like pass to the 50, and the mark is taken. That was Mullen, kicks it up towards the wing. No mark. The ball not clear for the Storm. Good bit of play here as 1 against 3, almost 1 out. Not quite in the end. The Borough now gets some numbers to the contest. The handball comes out wide. Conforti tries to run onto it, pushed off the footy. It comes back to Mullen, who's surrounded, dragged down. That was a terrific tackle.
Geary.
Free kick will go to Shannon Geary, defensive side of the wing for the Storm, outer or swimming pool side.
Shannon Geary, he's done some hard work here. Really workmanlike. He'll look for heavy side. Heavy side under. Probably, well, he ran underneath the footy and probably got a chop with the arms.
Held on to by Thompson, the umpire said, but gee, there wasn't much in that either.
Left half forward for the Storm. Heavy side. Header side. Pressing for another one. They've kicked the last 2, the Storm. Now heavy side. Inside forward 50. They'll set themselves. Brady with the target. Falls to the back of the pack. Eagle Hawk will clear now through the coach in Bow. Short pass out of side. Finds Thompson. Thompson now. Short pass over the top. Williams, he was kick at the back of the ankles. Tripped over. Umpire let it
Eagle
go.
Hawk natives are restless, Josh.
They certainly are. Starting to hear them. They're up and about.
Ball's on the wing on the outer side. We're going to throw in. Eagle Hawk by 5 points. Late in the second term. Throw in. Neves and Crone. Neves got a clean fist on it. Didn't find a teammate though. Strafford say got a defensive handball. Heavy side couldn't trap it. The ball knocked back towards Neves, who's held up in the tackle. Umpire said holding the ball. And the Storm on the advantage, try to work it forward. On the end of it and running into the attacking 50 is Donnan, who has a flying shot and kicks a goal and puts the Storm in front. In fact, it was Payne, was it? Thank you, Johnny. So a goal to the Storm either way. And they have hit the front 7-3-45. Eagle Hawk 7-2-44. 25 and a half into the second. Here's Josh McKee.
Coach, he must have given it a fair rev up at quarter time because Strathclyde are working a lot harder than Eagle Hawk. You see their forwards, their movement, their structure is fantastic. They're working for each other, which is resulting in what they've got going, and they've hit the front.
So back into the middle here will go. They certainly have hit the front. They've kicked the last 3, the Storm. It's back into the middle. Dill Williams sharked a footy, and then he was swooped upon.
Well, this is what we want in the grand final anyway, isn't it? We want a good contest, and it's been a good contest thus far, so the crowd are getting their money's worth, gentlemen.
Certainly are, as we'll have a secondary throw up in the middle. Absolutely pristine conditions. We couldn't have ordered a day like this. Springtime is in the air. It's finals. Dylan Williams worked hard. He got his hands away, but the umpire said he had far too long. And a free kick was going to go to the big Bruckman in Crone.
Handball's off. Dowd out wide to Formosa. He sends it inside 50, but Daly read that really well. Got back, took the defensive mark for Eagle Hawk. Spreads it wide. Oh, his teammate lost his footing at the vital moment. That was Saunders, and now he's gang tackled. Umpire said, no prior. I'll have it. And he'll bounce it on the attacking 50 for the Storm, who now lead by a point. 7-3-45. Eagle Hawk 7-2-44.
Eagle Hawk have failed to have an inside 50 in the last 10 minutes.
Ground level. It's now 49 out from goal. We'll have another secondary ball up. Right on the paint mark of 50. The logo of 50. Broadcast side. Crone and Neves, I must say, he's been impressive. He's got a dodgy wing, but he's almost halfway through this game, and he's doing well. He wins the tap on that occasion. Bow sharks it. Now he runs, has one bounce, handball over the top to Dill Williams. He goes to Conforti by hand. Back to Dill Williams by hand. It was messy. Hunter Lawrence dives in after the footy for the Storm. Bottom of the pack. He dragged it in. You're right. The free kick. It's going to be reversed. No, it's not. Conforti now. Wing. He'll look to centre the ball. Looks for Sean Williams. 1-on-1. Did well. Good bit of work by the Storm.
Great tackle.
It was a great tackle. Now they come through Collins. Right at the mark of 50 for Eagle Hawks. An awkward looking left footer, and it was ugly and ineffective. And marking it defensively was Ben Lester.
Probably had a lot more time than you thought there.
Goes into the pocket. Formosa marks. Just chips it to Dowd. Oh, he's going to get run down. Good tackling from Eagle Hawk.
Johnny Norton's called, holding the ball.
And it's Mullen again, who's really been good for Eagle Hawk.
Been very lively.
And he'll take the free. Too far out to score. Just chips it wide. Now the umpire's saying you got to face your mark. His kick was a bit ordinary anyway, so he'd probably happy to have it again. This time he goes short.
Another whistle.
Now what's the umpire saying?
Called downfield here.
He's saying it's a holding free kick to Eagle Hawk, and it's going to go to Sean Williams. And Collins is in there having a bit to say. And Sean Williams has got the free kick, and he's directly in front, 30 out for Eagle Hawk. So a bit of holding off the footy, one would suggest.
Yes, he was trying to lead, but holding on to him.
So Williams, who's already kicked 2, lines up for his 3rd, and to put his side back in front. Late in the 2nd, he fires, and he does. 3 goals to Sean Williams. Eagle Hawk 8-2-50. Strathfield say 7-3-45. Late in the quarter, 29 gone. Thanks to Priority One Property. Here's Cam Power.
So Sean Williams has tried to make a lead inside forward 50 there, and as soon as he was led, a Strathfield Say player jumped, blocked his run and knocked him to ground. So it's a free kick, resulting in a goal for Eagle Hawk, which late in the quarter is a real coach killer.
We've got the close one. I'm calling it early. This is going to go to the wire. Don't go anywhere. The only one, the one and only Bendigo footy. Local footy is our first choice. There's a chant going up in the background.
The crowd's built up significantly since the start of the game, I'd say.
Yeah, there's a massive crowd now.
This is building to be a classic. It's a seesawing battle. Through the middle now, Formosa of the Storm puts it deep inside forward 50. Oscar Madden takes the chest mark. He'll look to spread it wide. It's okay. He finds Jack Fallon. Jack Fallon takes a mark.
And holds the ball up. 5-point lead to Eagle Hawk as we start the second half in this 2018 Bendigo Football League Grand Final. Up they go in the ruck. It will be Crone and Neves again. The ball to ground. Bo's got it. Held up though. He wanted a high one, and he says to the umpire, come on. The umpire said, none of that. I'll throw it up again. So, again, the ruck set themselves. Still in the middle of the ground. Knocked down by Crane to the back of the pack. Fallon couldn't quite snavel it. Picked up by Neves. Handballs off to the run of McGlashan. Kicks it high inside 50. Hommelhoff up. Couldn't quite hold the mark for the Borough. Geary did okay. Got it off to a teammate in Brady. Oh, his teammate had a bit of a fumble, and Eagle Hawk could come back in here. Dill Williams tried to get it off to a teammate who was surrounded. Geary's tackled by Hommelhoff. The ball's still in dispute in the forward pocket for Eagle Hawk. Now they try to work it forward. The Borough off the deck. Flying handball comes out. It might work. Player pushed as he got boot to ball. It falls for Saunders. Throws it on the boot for Eagle Hawk to full forward. Borough mark, no. Off the ground, no. What's the umpire saying? A behind.
Gee, Shawnee not stiff there, not to cop one high.
8-4. In fact, 8-3. That is correct. 8-3-51. They were quick on the scoreboard. Strathfield say 7-3-45. There's a goal in it, Johnny.
They didn't muck around either, the Storm. They sent it beyond 50, but now Collins sharks the footy for Eagle Hawk. He'll put it to the top of the square. Not had a lot of it. Ratcliffe now for the Storm. Feeds it over the top. Need to be careful here, the Storm. They wrap the footy up through McPhee. Tried to hurriedly get the ball to boot. And couldn't in time before the umpire blows his whistle. And 30 out from the Eagle Hawk goal. We'll toss it. We'll ball it up.
Shannon Geary, like he always does, puts his body on the line. Just stood in front of Sean Knott there.
Up they'll go in the ruck. Coates shark the footy, feeds it off over the top by hand to Geary.
Oh, that's holding the ball, surely.
Umpire let it go hard up against the line. Tumbles over, and we'll have another throw in.
Josh and I have both got our mouths open.
I am
25
gobsmacked.
out from goal.
Well, he took him on and he dropped the footy.
8-3-51, 7-3-45. It's Eagle Hawk at the moment, 2 minutes into the third on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
And now from that stoppage, it's a Strath free kick.
Too high.
Deep in the back pocket. Is that Donnan?
Yes.
Had a quiet day. I caught him kicking a goal. He didn't kick, but other than that, he's had a quiet day. Kicks the ball up towards half-back. Dwyer marks. Tried to milk the 50. Bit of by-play between he and his opponent. Miles. Dwyer out wide with a kick to the wing. Crone, the big fella, marks. Swimming pool side of the ground. Just chips it forward. Couldn't find a teammate. McGlashan was there. He couldn't trap it close to the boundary, and it goes over.
Jed Hommelhoff started off this quarter at full forward, and Cameron McGlashan started off at centre half backs there. A couple of interesting moves.
Big crowd out of side wing. Umpire will throw it in. They'll go in the ruck. It'll be a big Crone against Neve. Neve jumped early, but it was Crone to the front of the pack. Bow was there, however, for Eagle Hawk. Paddles in front of him. Coach
well done.
was well done by Bow of Eagle Hawk. Now inside forward 50. Not. He attacked the foot. He got a fist to it. Now be Storm. Inside, still forward 50. Dill Williams is there. Dowd feeds a neat little one out to Calgary. Off half back for the Storm. He'll go down the line and he finds Hunter Lawrence. And Hunter Lawrence for the Storm will slow it down.
Been pretty serviceable, Lawrence, for the Storm. He goes deep into the forward pocket. That put the moz on him. Kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Commentator's curse.
Absolutely. Lockie Atherton with the footy for Eagle Hawk in the back pocket. There's a bit of traffic. It's going to go across the ground. It's a little dangerous, but his kicking was spot on. Mark was taken for Eagle Hawk and kicked forward. They've worked it to the wing. Fallon finds Thompson. He's forward of the wing. Out of side for the Borough. He wants to shoot it in short. Miss the target. Geary of the Shannon variety takes a defensive mark at half back.
Plays on quickly. Feeds the ball out. Needs to be careful to Coates. Hurriedly to Formosa. Handballer over the top to Calgary. Now to Coates by hand. Bangs it on the boot. Quickly. They're going to muck it up here. Eagle Hawk will take possession. Now contested footy. Out of side.
Oh.
Collins diving in hard after the footy. That was Brody. And umpire blows his whistle, crosses his arms.
Bit of a stalemate early going in this third, gentlemen. Not much scoring going on.
So, umpire will ball it up just forward of centre wing now for Eagle Hawk. Geez, the coach Bow has been good. It's now the Storm through
Great
Dwyer.
tackle.
Penalised holding the ball.
It's a great tackle, Tyler Miles. Didn't give him 50.
50.
What was that for, boys? Any idea?
Didn't give him the ball back on the full.
He's a bit trigger happy, wasn't he?
That old chestnut.
Tyler Miles now for Eagle Hawk. I would suggest that he's not a familiar goal kicker. Wouldn't have kicked a lot in his day.
But he can kick a footy,
Yes, he can.
can't he?
Well, he's kicked 3.
Let's just hope he can kick it straight.
He's kicked 3 this year, in fact, in 20 games.
Oh,
so
well, he's due, Johnny. That's all that means.
he is due. Tyler Miles for Eagle Hawk. Just to extend this one out, because it is a 2 or 3 goal breeze to the Bendigo City end. It's a left footer. It's high.
Celebrate!
Oh! Must have swung just at the last moment. So they'll extend the lead here, Eagle Hawk. 9-3-57. The Storm are 7-3-45. Almost 6 minutes in the third. Thanks to Priority One Property, Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Whoever said Backman can't kick
That's
goals?
right. Exactly.
That's a beautiful goal and well rewarded. Tyler Miles took Strathfield State took him on, grabbed him, dumped him, didn't give the ball back on the full, rewarded in a goal.
So, Eagle Hawk with a 2-goal lead. You probably feel like they've got to be 4 or so in front at the last change to not be squirming in your seat if you're barracking for the Borough with Strath having the breeze in this final term. Neve's got it down. Collins tries to run onto it. Formosa beat him to the punch. Hooked it around the body for the Storm up towards half forward. It bounces on its point. Gathered by Payne. Handball off to the run of Shanahan. Kicks it inside 50. And heavy side on the end of it. Takes a lovely mark. Hands in front of the face. Good build up there, Josh, by the Storm.
Yeah, you can just see how quickly they can move it. You know, Josh Formosa, showing his dominance in the middle now.
So, chance here for heavy side. How many has he got today? He's got 1. Fires from about 48. And it's right to the line, off hands. That'll be punched through for a behind. Strathfield say 7-4-46. Eagle Hawk 9-3-57. 7 gone into the third quarter, thanks to Priority One Property.
Glenn Daly, the architect, will spread it wide looking for Jesse Collins, right on defensive 50. Took a nice, strong, contested mark in front of Wallace. Collins comes in ball. It was dangerous. They might be good enough here. They are. Spills to Riley Saunders. He goes across half back.
Had to be careful, and he was.
Finds Collins now into the middle. Good build up to Fallon. Defensive side of the centre circle for Eagle Hawk. Fallon on the left.
Lovely
He'll
kick.
look for Knott, who's at 70. Takes a mark. He'll swing and go. Into the pocket, looking for Hommelhoff. Geez, it was a low worm burner, a daisy cutter. And, geez, that's an old-fashioned term, isn't it? And Hommelhoff marks it on the chest in front of the
old-fashioned
scoreboard.
blokes, Johnny.
We are.
What's a worm burner?
A worm burner.
Maybe
I
just
don't
old
know.
blokes. I don't
Too
know.
old. Or too young.
Hommelhoff at 50.
This
He
is an
stands.
important kick. He actually started the game really well, didn't he? But he's just gone quiet and they've moved into full forward, as you said, Wixie.
He's right up against the fence. He could buy a coffee if he wanted to. That's how far out he is.
Nice cream.
Now he comes in. Distance won't be a problem. It's wide. It was narrow in the end and really didn't look like it. So Eagle Hawk go to 9.4.58. Strathfield say 7.4.46. 9 in the third. Thanks to Priority One Property. Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Shannon Geary will bring it in. Plays on. It's a bit of a shepherd and then kicks it long and high towards half back. Up in front, good mark Dwyer. Been serviceable for the Storm. True centre half back. Out wide towards the wing. Payne, almost the mark, not quite. Now tackled by Miles and slung in the tackle. Umpire said as the ball went over the line, throw it in. True wing, outer or swimming pool side of the ground. It'll be thrown back into play. It's a 2-goal lead to Eagle Hawk, and we've ticked over 9 minutes in the third, thanks to Aussie Disposals.
It's finals time. Springtime is in the air. Couldn't have ordered a better day. Out aside. Big crowd in the house. They're relatively quiet at the moment. This is a bit of an arm wrestle. As it's tossed in, comes to ground level. Where Collins. It's fed over the top. Coughed it up, in fact. Calgary now. He dishes it out by hand to Dowd. Dowd on the left foot. Inside forward 50. There's no one home. Daly fumbled a ball. That was unusual. Now JD Donaldson's at the front of the pack. He'll go around the body. Bouncing footy. 20 metres out from goal. Inboard to Donnan. Donnan's tackle. Was he holding or was it pushed in the back?
Hold the ball.
It was the former, and a free kick for Eagle Hawk will go to Riley Saunders.
In the back pocket, in front of a big Eagle Hawk contingent down there, goes short. Daly goes to his knee, takes the mark, floats a horrid thing into the middle of the ground. Neves trapped that really well. Plays on, but his kick's not much better. Just floats it up towards half forward, close to the boundary. Bit of a one-on-one here. It was McPhee up against Bonnie, but the ball's out of play.
Good
And
little
we'll have a
tussle
throw
there.
in.
Good little tussle there between Bonnie and McPhee. Two of same stature.
Good to see both players kept their feet. So important to do in modern day footy. In the old days you would have dived in after it, but that's just long gone. It was a really good contest.
Well
Collins feeds it through nicely. It's good to Harper over the top, tries to find Thompson. He's besieged. Jonty Neves in there. That'll test the shoulder
Yeah,
out. 'Cause
absolutely. I was thinking that as he got thrown to the
Geary
ground.
for the Storm just slung him to the ground and made sure he drove him into the turf.
Better off kicking long then. They've got two one-on-ones down there instead of handball and mucking it up on half forward line.
So contest, it's cross half forward for Eagle Hawk. McPhee doing his best work, dives in. So too Mullen, held up in a tackle. The umpire said, mine boys. No one able to escape there. So pretty low scoring quarter. Stratfield's haven't kicked a goal. Eagle Hawk have kicked one so far in this third term. And we're almost 12 minutes in. Collins underneath all that, couldn't get clear. Bonnie got a hurried kick back towards the middle of the ground for the Storm. Bit of a foot race out there. Eagle Hawk player overran it. And now a chance for the Storm to settle and move the ball forward. Robertson got it up to half forward, running with a flight. That was a good mark. And the player out there is Payne again, who's taken the mark. Got an AFL update, have you, Josh?
Yeah, if anyone's interested, the
course they are.
real footy's here, but Eagle Hawk, West Coast 32 in front of Melbourne, 3 points.
Ooh. What stage of the game, Josh, do you know?
Yeah, it's about that.
First quarter, 12-goal win, Ronnie.
Is that what it is? Fergus Payne here at the real game, lines up. He is 40 from home for the Storm. They'd love one here into the breeze. He fires, it's close. Gee, the goal umpire's got a bit of work to do. There was a big crowd on the goal line, but he says it's 4 points. And again, the margin tightens to just a goal. 9-4, 58 Eagle Hawk. Strathfield say now 8-4, 52. 12 gone into the third. Thanks to Holden Colorado at Poyser Holden. Here's Paul Wicks.
Good run from behind there by Hugh Robertson, and a good use of the ball to down to Fergus Payne, and a good goal. So you're working hard at the contest and got the extra numbers there now, and really good ball use into the 50.
Second goal for Fergus Payne this afternoon, boys. So goal the difference midway through the third quarter. Stop laughing, Josh.
Up they go in the ruck. Donaldson is in the ruck for the Storm. Taps it to the back door cleverly, but Dill Williams sharked it for Eagle Hawk. Offering support with Saunders will go over the top. They'll come again here, Eagle Hawk. Inside for, well, almost at forward 50. Collins dish it off to Harper by hand. Inside forward 50 this time. And a mark's been taken by Oscar Madden. That was Jack Fallon.
Yep.
And Jack Fallon has taken a mark. They've both got the hair bobs going on.
They do. They've both got the floppy hair, but Jack Fallon's actually been pretty quiet today, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and I don't think that kick was actually meant
No,
for him.
it wasn't.
Shawnee Knott was steaming out, and Jackie Fallon's just popped up and said, "Oh, thank you, I'll have that."
Well, you got to love country footy. Bendigo's Fresh FM local footy is our first choice.
Tell you what, this box is our first choice, I reckon. Grand final day,
Jack
Johnny.
Fallon. Let's see what he does with this ball. He drills it for his first. Comes at the 14-minute mark. Eagle Hawk 10-4, 64. The Storm are 8-4, 52 on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Well, Fallon celebrated that as soon as it came off the boot, I reckon, because that sounded beautiful and just split the middle there. Ronnie?
Talented player, and we haven't seen enough of him from an Eagle Hawk point of view today, but that was a great finish. So back to 2 goals. Is it going to be enough? It's only 14 into the term, but I reckon the Borough would like a bit more breathing space than that at 3/4 time. Let's see how it pans out. Tossed up back in the middle. Crone, maybe the best of it, taken by Collins though. That was a good kick too, and he found Thompson, who juggled the mark on the wing. Floats it forward. He's playing his teammate's going to get a free kick, Sean Williams, for being dragged over the shoulder. Wastes no time, spears it into the pocket. Harper shrugs the tackle, gets onto his left. Little dinky one, will it come off? No, to not, but he laid a terrific tackle. Foremost and nearly through that. The umpire said play on. Saunders has got it. This way, that way. Handball's back. McPhee off a step. Fires! And bounces it through. Another goal to Eagle Hawk. 15 gone into the third. Eagle Hawk 11-4, 70. Strathfield say are 8-4, 52. 18 points the margin. 15 gone. Here's Norm Jenkins.
Yeah, and the last 2 goals there for Eagle Hawk have come from their 3 centre breaks, where they've got the ball out the centre and they've made the most of it. They've had 2 marks inside 50 this quarter, which they weren't able to do the second.
They're almost where they want to be, halfway through this third term with the win. They've skipped it out to 18 points. Eagle Hawk will be looking to extend it further and make the most of it. Up they go. It's just a little bit of volleyball in the middle. Ends up with Hommelhoff of Eagle Hawk. Again inside forward 50. Not as in the area. There's 2 Storm players there. Bonnie receives it. Gives it by hand to a teammate who'll put it outside 50. Hommelhoff, he shovels it out towards the boundary line. He'll be looking for Jack Fallon, who's been prominent. Can't get the footy over the line. She goes, and 60 out from goal. Attacking, Eagle Hawk will throw it in.
So Eagle Hawk continue to work the ball forward. Neves got it down. Chance for the Storm. They get a handball out and a clearing kick back to the middle of the ground. Thompson was underneath it, but coming in hard was Dwyer. Took a strong mark, kicked it out into the path of Lawrence. He can gather it. No, he's worried out of it by Dill Williams. He tried to knock it off the ground to a teammate. Formosa was there, working hard. Hill got the ball forward. Neves being brilliant, got it again, kicked it back inside 50. No mark to Bonnie, but he controlled the ball at ground level. Got the handball off to his teammate in Smith, who went short and missed the target. And Jack Fallon took the mark within scoring distance.
Well, we said he hasn't had much of the ball, but here he is. He's popped up 5-6 times in the last 5 minutes.
Jack Fallon in the forward pocket under the scoreboard will kick from about 40 out. Bit worse than a 45-degree angle to kick his second goal almost in as many minutes. And the Borough would love this one. 17 into the third. Jack Fallon, left footer, fires, brings it back. Not enough. Behind. Eagle Hawk 11-5, 71. Strathfield say 8-4, 52. 17 into the third. Thanks to Holden, Colorado. A poise of Holden.
Donaldson doing a lot of work for the Storm. He's kicking it out now. He's done a bit of work in the ruck as well. Sends it beyond 50. Hands on the footy was Robinson. Couldn't it drag it in for the Storm. Comes to ground level over the top for Mosa. Dishes it off to Moorhead. To Dowd by Hound. Here they come through Lawrence. Hunter Lawrence now. He'll send it inside forward 50. Shallow ball. Oscar Madden got a cruel bounce for the Borough. Hard up against the line. 70 out from goal. Just tumbles over. And we'll throw it in.
Look at the crowd, boys. It is huge.
I tell you what, it's a long way over there too, Josh.
For your eyes.
What are you trying to say? I'm an old man?
Nope.
You'd be right. Throw in. It's on 50 for the Storm. Not. And the ball knocked to ground. I reckon it's Robertson who's dragged down. The umpire had a good look. And he said, I'll have it. So Robertson and his opponent might do the ruck work again here as they're slow to get up.
Bit of fatigue setting in.
Yep, my word. It's pretty warm too out in that sun. Not warm, but warm considering what we've had over recent weeks. Throw up. 60 out from the Storm goal. Might have been held, not in the ruck contest. No free. Geary picks it up for the Storm. Centering ball. Spoilt by the Eagle Hawk defence. There's Knott. Picks it up. Throws it on the left. Now, Collins, did he push? He did.
He did.
Well, I was going to say he got his opponent under the footy, but it will be a free kick to the Storm. It might be...
Cal Brady.
It is Cal Brady. I was going to say it might be Moy, but it's Cal Brady. You're right.
Cal Brady. Interesting part of this game now, just to see if Eagle Hawk, they probably need 2 more on the board, because if the Storm get one, they'll have the wind in the last turn to the city end. Was a good grab by Dwyer.
He's been good for the Storm.
Out of side wing. Now Dwyer, he'll send it shallow inside forward 50. Oscar Madden got a lot of it for Eagle Hawk. Now they'll bring it back the other way through Hill to the outer side of the ground. Bouncing footy. Again on the wing. Brady is out there. Moorhead picks it up for the Storm. Shovels it out in the direction of Donaldson. Donaldson taps it out. The Storm, they're away. Good bit of work again by that man Dwyer. You called him earlier, Ronnie. And they're just streaming forward, the Storm. Ball inside forward 50. Nice bit of work by Shanahan. Over the top by Hand. They'll share it around. Now a long ball inside forward 50 to the top of the square. Atherton got the fist on it for Eagle Hawk. Socket off the ground by Dwyer. Was ambitious to say the least. I reckon it's out of bounds on the full. In fact, it's a minor score.
Very gutsy by Atherton to go back with a fly to the ball in front of the big ruckman.
I don't think he likes anything in that regard.
No, he doesn't.
8-5-53 Storm, Eagle Hawk 11-5-71. 20 in the third on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Daly brings it in dangerously. No mark taken. Geary did a good job. He spoiled 3 Eagle Hawk players, but weight of numbers wins out. Neves off to Dylan Williams. Scrubs one to the middle. He couldn't hold on to the mark. Saunders and the Storm bring it back towards their half-forward line. No mark taken. McIver got a bit of work to do. Did it pretty well. Gets the Shepherd. Takes a bounce. Runs through the wing. Kicks high inside the 50. McPhee. No, it's Saunders underneath it who takes the mark for Eagle Hawk. Spots something in short. It's Conforti. Mark or free kick. And he'll go back and have a shot at goal.
He had him there for a fair while there on his own, waving his arms. I thought he might have missed him out, but he found him. Good play there, Rylan McIver. The old 80-metre play, pretty good stuff down the closest wing here. 40-metre run, 40-metre kick.
Brenton Conforti kicked a goal in the first quarter. Haven't seen a great deal of him, but he's deep in the forward pocket. Only about 25 out, but it's not an easy kick, even though he does have the breeze sort of blowing the ball towards the goal. See how he goes. Gets pretty close to the man on the mark and went right across the face and out of bounds on the full. So not his best effort. And Callum Brady will take the free kick for the Storm.
Didn't even look like it off the boot,
No,
really.
he got too close to the man on the mark, I reckon.
Yeah, and he tried to punch at it too hard. Just really kicked at the footy and not through it. Now Brady for the Storm. He'll come dangerously but safely to Cal Smith, who was at the top of the defensive square. He'll look now
Not too much on
it's
offer.
almost as if he's kicking in from full back. That's where he's situated. To Moorhead. Deep in his back pocket, underneath the scoreboard. Goes long, beyond 50, looks for Donaldson. He looks tired, Donaldson actually, and he should be. Hommelhoff now swoops on the footy for Eagle Hawk. ends up with Neves. Neves quickly on the left, back into the corridor. Oh, it's picked up there by Fallon. In fact, it's Harper that time. Harper goes around the body, in for a minor one. And it goes to the scoreboard, 8-5-53. The Storm 11-6-72. 22.5 in the third on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Margin is 19 at the 22-minute mark. Geary brings it in. Now he's run out of the square, has he?
No.
He's a fair way out too then, Ron.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I wasn't taking that much notice. I was watching where the ball was going rather than what he was doing. But
Footballing sin. That one.
They're taking their time getting out of defence too, and Jonty Neves is just setting up a kick behind play, and even though he went out of the square then, that one was heading straight to Jonty as well.
I've just noticed Eagle Hawks set up the presses all the way up. There's only two blokes really behind the centre square, the centre circle.
so it'll be bounced at the top of the goal square for Eagle Hawk as Geary ran out of the square on the kick in. Neves. McPhee. Did he get enough on it? He did. It's a goal. Ben McPhee kicks his second. And Eagle Hawk a little further ahead, out to a 25-point margin, 12-6-78. Strath Storm 8-5-53, 23.5 into the third. Thanks to Aussie Disposals, here's Norm Jenkin.
It's been a dominant third quarter. Breaks and 10 inside 50s, 4 marks inside 50, and Eagle Hawk have owned the quarter and starting to put pressure on the scoreboard.
Shannon Geary will be kicking himself after that.
25-point margin. As I said, the Storm will have the breeze in the final term to the City End, which we think is about a 3-goal breeze. If you remember rightly, in last year's grand final, they were kicking to that end
With a gale.
and they did have one Lachlan Sharp playing, as we've got a secondary bounce into the middle. Neves did well, punched it to the direction of Collins. Collins went 60 up and 30 forward, just ricocheted to Crone of the Storm now, to half forward. This is Donaldson. He looked tired, couldn't grab it. Miles by hand of Bow off half back, and he'll spread it wide. And this young man has had a lot of it, and
Mullen.
that is Mullen, of course. In that first term, he was really good.
Fallon's lifted this quarter. He's got the mark on the swimming pool side wing for Eagle Hawk. Down the line with a kick. Terrific mark, Sean Williams. Almost with the one arm, holding his opponent with the other. So Williams, 65 from home, is just going to set it up. He wants Neves. Oh, McGlashan. Oh, Neves. Did he hold the mark? No. Gee, I thought he had enough of it. The umpire disagreed. Storm run it out of defence. That could be a pivotal moment in the game. The ball is with JD. Donaldson clears to half forward, and the mark is taken by Heavyside.
Heavyside doesn't muck around. He'll go inboard to Coates. Too far out to score. He's a good 2 kicks. He'll spread it wide across half forward and open up the angle through Payne. In fact, really he's gone from one side to the other. Seesawed across half forward for the Storm. Now deep into the pocket. I don't like it when they go there. Diving in after the footy is Heavyside.
Yeah,
Ducked his head.
Oh, he's paid it the other way.
Oh, no.
He's paid it for diving in the legs.
Oh, I thought he tripped over and Riley McCall
The
fell over
umpire
him.
said, he signalled that he dived into his legs, and that's, that stupid rule.
Good
It's a free kick. Dairy,
Only
mate.
had
So they
5
got one
free
out of
kicks
jail
for the
there,
quarter
Eagle
as well.
Hawk.
I reckon they did. Now Eagle Hawk again will swing it. Well, it's not across half back on this occasion. It's right deep in the back line across a back pocket. It's dangerous. Comes to the front of the pack. 40 out from goal defensively. It is an advantage. It'll go to Eagle Hawk. Ball is spread wide to the wing. Bounces. That was a poor result by Oscar Madden. He tried to set it wide in the direction of Knott. Couldn't.
Probably,
over the line.
Probably lost his run a bit
He
there.
did. He lost his momentum, didn't he? When the umpire blew the whistle, he stopped. And then when the umpire waved play on, he was, I've got to play on. And then he panicked.
On the wing, we'll toss it in broadcast side.
So knock forward for Eagle Hawk. Payne there, though, for the Storm. Got a handball to Formosa. Been really good today for the Storm. Got around a couple and then kicked it high and long and wide. He wants Donaldson. Got a couple to beat it. The bounce favoured Daly. He went without it. There he goes again. Held by one arm. Is he holding the ball? Is he holding the man? Umpire said neither. Play on. He chipped it short to his teammate there in Harper it was, who went out wide. And now Neves can just get around one or Kenny.
Oh.
Well tackled. That was a terrific tackle. Holding the ball. And the free kick with Payne, advantage paid, and Wallace has got the footy.
He has one bounce, he runs a long way, he straightens up, he sends it inside forward 50, bouncing footy, comes to the back, Atherton is there for Eagle Hawk, he'll track it towards the boundary line, he'll need to. just hard up,
good defending.
disguised it well, stepped over the line. We'll throw it in.
25 points, Josh, is it enough?
Interesting question.
Storm.
Yes.
Attacking here, the Storm. Deep in the forward pocket. Barnard Street end, it's against the breeze. Can they get one? Hunter Lawrence, unopposed, grabbed it out of the air, banged it on the boot. It's not going to go the distance.
Heavy side.
Heavy side, running with the flight of the ball into the square, and it was almost unopposed in the end. He's going to line them up 5 metres out directly in front. Wow.
Bring it back to 19 points. Is it?
Yeah, 19, you're right.
I think goals in the second half up to the Barnard Street end are
Like goal,
almost worth 2, I'd say.
Yep.
I sensed a tired Eagle Hawk then. They let him get it. Through the middle she goes for his second. The Storm now, that makes things interesting here at the QER in this grand final. Almost three-quarter time. The Storm 9-5-59. Eagle Hawk 12-6-78. Thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
To go a little bit against the tide, they've only had 2 centre clearances this quarter, the Strathfield State Storm, and that goal brings it back to a real manageable three-quarter time lead.
Donaldson having a run in the ruck. Neves has rucked tirelessly for Eagle Hawk. He'll contest this one as the umpire comes in to restart us. 19 points at the 28.5-minute mark of the third in favour of Eagle Hawk, but the Storm will have the breeze in the last. Neves up high before acceptances, really. Donaldson had the best of it. Neves did his own roving, though. Somehow found a passage, got a little toe poke. Harper took it, floated the handball back to a teammate. That was McIver, who kicked out very wide towards the wing for Eagle Hawk. Collins goes at it with his opponent. Lays a good tackle on Smith, and the umpire said, no, Pryor, I'll bounce it. True wing right in front of our broadcast position. Eagle Hawk 12-6-78. Strathfield say 9-5-59. 29 into the third.
Up they go in the ruck. Donaldson won the tap. It was just socket out of there by Neves. Oh, Neves just threw a cut lunch there, got away with it. Bowe picks it up inside forward 50. He'll swing it wide to Fallon. Fallon will swing it wide again to a teammate. Had a shot at goal. It's Harper. And Harper has popped it through. The black-haired boys with the bobs share it around. For Eagle Hawk, they get one late. That was his first. And Eagle Hawk 13-6-84 to the Storm 9-5-59. Almost 30 minutes in the third, thanks to Holden, Colorado at Poyser Holden on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Good work there by the Eagle Hawk fellas from the stoppage. Just kept willing the ball forward. Josh Bowe was real good there and forced a goal. And look, at the 30-minute marker, you're kicking a goal. It's pretty valuable stuff too.
From the stoppage, Collins has got it for Eagle Hawk, but he can't get an effective disposal. Geary upended in the tackle. Eagle Hawk work it forward. Neves hacks it off the deck, lacks a fortune. It went straight onto the chest of Harper. He can chip it wide. He wants Hommelhoff. Up he goes. Can't mark. Siren goes. Has a pretty good look. He's happy. Holds the ball up. Here's John Hunter to get us underway for the final term of season 2018.
Big netball going on as well. Gisborne have pinched the lead over Sandhurst, 41 playing 40. Back in the middle here in football, we'll have a secondary bounce, as we so often do in big tight games. Pyle throw it all off. Crone wins the tap for the Storm. McPhee sharked it, sends it over the top by hand to Miles, sits nicely for him. Now for Eagle Hawk, Miles just sends it wide to the outer side. In fact, it's lucky not to go out of bounds on the full.
Well, the umpire, I think, dabbled with the idea of playing deliberate then, and he thought, nah.
Well, we're not in the city, I know that.
We're not the MCG now.
No, true.
But that almost could have been, because it was really
Well, there was no
wide.
Eagle Hawk player within cue of where he kicked it, was there?
It's 84 playing 59. Eagle Hawk just got this one in tow at the moment by 25 points on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Throw in on the wing. Burrow will work it out. Harper. Handball to Miles. Got a poor bounce. Picked up by Shanahan of the Storm. Hooked it around the body. Wasn't his best kick. Went out of bounds on the full.
Great pressure by Miles.
Free kick will go to Atherton at half back for Eagle Hawk on the outer or swimming pool side. So he just steadies. Just chips it. He wants Harper. Up he goes. Can't mark. Ground level footy. Hands and knees Conforti got a handball. Miss McGlashan. Working hard. Saunders did well. Found some space. Kicked it forward. And it's an Eagle Hawk mark to Sean Williams in the forward pocket. and he can go back and perhaps put the first nail in the coffin for the Borough.
Riley Saunders just moved and grooved his way through there. He's a smart little player, and a beautiful kick to Williams. Will line up.
Been good in front of goal this season, and he's got 3 today. Sean Williams in the forward pocket, but only about 30 out. He fires. It's a goal! And the Eagle Hawk fans erupt behind the scoreboard. They are very, very happy with that. Sean Williams has got 4. Eagle Hawk 14-6-90. Strathfield say 9-5-59. Out to 31 points. Here's Paul Wicks.
Yeah, Strathfield say got caught in the turnover there, and as you said, Josh, beautiful use of the football by Riley Saunders. Sean Williams, good mark out in front of the face, and if you're a leading forward, that's how you want the ball delivered to you.
Back into the middle. Couldn't have asked for a better start. Eagle Hawk kicking to the Barnard Street end against 3 or 4 goal breeze. The Storm, however, we know they'll come again. They're a professional outfit. Crone taps it to his feet. Calgary collects, dishes out a handball. Contested footy now, though. McGlashan is there, and Formosa of the Storm. He dishes it out. Bow lifts his intensity. Good tackling on the Storm player, brings him to ground.
Great leadership. Great leadership.
It's Cal Smith at the bottom of the pack. And on left half forward for Eagle Hawk, we'll throw it up.
Neves has rucked tirelessly today. Might have got the ball down there. Bow again, but he's immediately tackled. Can't break through. And that was by Moorhead, so we'll have another stoppage. Just between wing and half forward for Eagle Hawk in front of the main grandstand. It'll be tossed up. And players set themselves. Crone, Neves, went through Bow's legs. Moorhead tried to be bumped off the footy. Great play there by Atherton, one for Eagle Hawk, but undone his good work by kicking the ball out of bounds on the full. Free kick to the Storm, defensive side of the wing.
Hunter Lawrence now, hard up against the boundary line. Broadcast side, grandstand that's chock-a-block full of people. Enjoying this grand final, which is going to go to the wire. Long ball, Miles sets himself at the back of the pack for Eagle Hawk, feeds it over the top. I'll move it nicely to Atherton. Handball came from Tim Hill. Long ball to the wing. Now it'll come back the other way to the Storm. Jaden Donaldson probably dropped the ball. He shouldn't have.
Took a long time to pay it.
And it will be a free kick.
Jack Fallon, they fell all over him.
Jack Fallon. I don't know if you
mean that?
Meant that there, Ronnie, but we'll take it.
Pretty funny, aren't I? I'm funny even when I don't know I'm funny.
Fallon. This is Jack.
Fell on him.
Fell on him. Let's see if Jack Fallon can dispose of this kick nicely. It's awkward. Not really. Comes to the back of the pack. They got the numbers though. Hommelhoff dishes it off to McGlashan. His handball was smothered. Received it back. Now Hommelhoff feeds it out to Collins. Collins held without the footy. Umpire let it go. Moorhead's there for the Storm. Now the Storm have possession, but the tackling is severe. Don't know if it was there, but getting the rub of the green there was Eagle Hawk. Now it is Collins. He'll send it inside forward 50. Big defensive punch there by the Storm. 40 out from goal. They'll move it across half back. And Lockie Wallace was clear defensively up onto the outside wing.
Dwyer takes the mark and just bombs it long forward for the Storm. Hill come across the front. Didn't affect the contest. Payne shrugged the tackle. Gets inside 50. Off the outside of the boot. Kicks a goal. Terrific individual effort by Fergus Payne. That's his 3rd and just gives them a little bit of hope. We are only 5.5 into this final term. Eagle Hawk 14-6-90. Storm move along to 10-5. 65 back to 25 points. Here's Paul Wicks.
Yeah, goal out of nothing there for the Strathfield side because Hill got himself back and made it a 2-on-1 with Oscar Madden, and it ended up being about 4 or 5-on-1. And Payne went over and assisted, took the mark, and a check side kick for goal.
So that was a valuable one. They're not without a chance. 25 points. Josh, you look a bit pensive.
What's we called here? We've called Toomey in the square. And it's a free kick going to Jonty Neves in the middle of the ground.
Geez, just when the momentum were with the Storm. That's an awkward kick. Collins was on his knees. Marked the footy, fortunately, on a half forward for Eagle Hawk. Short pass to Dill Williams. Spotted him up.
He's your man, isn't he, Johnny?
35 out from goal.
There's not much of him, but he knows how to play.
He does. This distance will test him. He's standing at 60. Man on the mark is at 40. Barnard Street end against the breeze. He agrees when he goes short to a hard-leading Conforti, marks it on the chest. He leapt early and really in the end did it pretty easy, and he'll line him up pretty much directly in front to the Barnard Street end 35 out from goal.
All too easy, some poor marking and an easy mark for Brenton Conforti.
Lapse in concentration there. 4 or 5 Strath blokes with hands on the hips, guarding grass.
There's a mistake in the middle, wasn't it, that gave Eaglehawk the free kick.
Oh, no.
Conforti. That's the second time he's punched at the footy.
He's trying to kick
awkwardly.
that back out to the borough, I think, there, Johnny.
Might be a minor. It is only just 14-7-91 Eaglehawk. The Storm's 10-5-65. 7 in the last on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Shannon Geary brings it in. Couldn't find his brother. I think it is his brother, isn't it? The ball is swept back to Miles for Eaglehawk, who was standing in the centre circle. Kicked it very wide out towards the outer side wing. He wanted to bring Riley Saunders into the game, but he couldn't trap it before it went over the line. So we're going to throw in swimming pool side true wing. The margin is 26 in favour of Eaglehawk. We're ticking up to the 8-minute mark of the final term, thanks to Aussie Disposals.
The windsock is erect, so there's certainly a 2 or 3 goal breeze, almost a wind to the city end, so they're not without a chance of Storm. They just need to get enough ball inside forward 50, but it's inside forward 50 now for Eaglehawk. They'll take possession.
Great tackle.
Storm, Wallace got collared. Free kick won't be awarded. It'll be an adjudication by Dean Goodridge, the umpire, who says, give it to me, I'll throw it up. So inside forward 50 for Eaglehawk, a fresh airy. McGlashan couldn't get it. Formosa dives in underneath the pack, and we'll ball it in. And on the netball, we're all tied up. Gisborne and Sandhurst, 44 apiece. We'll keep our eye on that one for you.
Strathfield say had one inside forward 50 this quarter and they had converted it with 1 goal.
Ball knocked down in the ruck. Eaglehawk player might have been held. That was Saunders. The umpire let it go. Geary's got it for the Storm. Handball off to a teammate who dribbles one around the boundary line defensively. Finds touch. We'll have a throw in. But he's worked the ball almost back towards the wing for the Storm. Throw in front of the swimming pool on the outer side. 14-7-91 Eaglehawk. The Storm 10-5-65, and we've played 9 minutes into the last.
Donaldson does the ruck work against Neves. Falls to Collins of Eaglehawk. His kick is smothered. Slews off that smother and goes out of bounds again. A bit of a hush of expectation over the ground at the moment.
A-grade has gone into extra time over there, Johnny.
And Sandhurst have just inched ahead, so 45 playing 44. They've got the close one over there. Keep our eye on the netball as out aside. Collins, kick is smothered again. Skews wide to Shannon Geary, will feed it over the top to Jack Shannon. Here come the Storm. Receiving a handball was Dowd, a left footer. He'll look for Coates. Coates, it bounced basically in his arms, hard up against the boundary line. He'll put it into the square. Heavy sides there. Will play on and bang it through. The Storm, that's his third. And the flicker becomes a heartbeat for the Storm. Still plenty of time as we approach the 10-minute mark. Storm go to 11-5-71. Eaglehawk 14-7-91. So it's under 4 kicks on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice, thanks to Priority One Property.
Yeah, we're just going to have to see Eaglehawk really dig in this last 15 minutes because, Strathfield are really coming home.
Well, we sort of expected them to come with the breeze as well. 20 points at the moment. Back in the middle. Next goal, pretty important, you'd think. Harper tried to work it out for Eaglehawk. Taken with a Storm, though. Geary to Moorhead. Kicks it high towards half forward. Hill couldn't control the footy in the marking contest. Lays a good tackle, though. Upends his opponent. Daly got a handball to Atherton. Slung as he got boot to ball for Eaglehawk. Back towards the middle of the ground, but Crone was standing there alone. Handball to Shannon Geary. Handball to Moorhead. They work the ball up towards half forward to Storm. It'll bounce in no man's land. Bit of a foot race. Who's going to be first back? Shanahan tried to fashion out a handball. It eventually got, I think, to Lawrence, who had a snap at goal. In fact, it was Wallace, and the ball was offline. It was a behind. 19 the margin. 11 gone into the final term, and we might have a grandstand finish here, boys.
Plenty of time left, mate, if they're good enough, Strathfield say.
And in the netball, we're still in extra time. Sandhurst 46, Gisborne 45. 1 goal the difference over in the netball. Meanwhile, back at the footy, It's 91 playing 72. Eagle Hawk kick it in. Defensively, it's marked to Harper. Harper now with the footy. Slows it down nicely. He'll spread it wide to the outer side wing. Looks for Conforti.
Free kick.
Probably a bit stiff, not be pushed in the back.
It's free kick or is out of bounds on the full.
It's one or the other. It's a Strath ball, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And it will be Shannon Geary. Shannon Geary now. He'll kick it long. This will go inside forward 50. It's shallow. 2 players for Eagle Hawk were up.
The general.
It was Tim Hill that takes a good, strong contested mark, albeit against his own teammate.
They chip it short. Harper. Deep in the back pocket, if you like, or back flank. Hard on the boundary. Oh, he's overcooked the kick, but luckily for him it went over the opponent as well, and McPhee took the mark for Eagle Hawk. Almost third man in line he was.
Well weighted kick.
So he'll claim it anyway. Short to Conforti, defensive side of the wing. Eagle Hawk in a little bit of control mode here, just trying to hold onto the footy. That kick's okay. Collins marks. Kicks it forward. On the end of it was Neves. Handball's off. Sean Knott deep in the forward pocket. Fires. Man on the goal line will kick a goal for Eagle Hawk. It was Riley Saunders and the Borough get a steadier. 13 into the final. Eagle Hawk 15-7, 97. The Storm 11-6, 72. Here's Josh McKee.
Well, if Brendan Conforti didn't kick that there to Eagle Hawk, then Riley Saunders did, because he has run to the ground, into the square and has booted that through for a major
spare ball, please.
Spare ball back in to the middle of the ground. Eagle Hawk with all run.
Well, they needed that one, Wixie, because it just steadies the ship a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it did, mate, and it was a good run from behind, caused the overlap and into space, and bang, the ball's halfway to Eagle Hawk.
It's pretty poor marking, though, to have someone on their own in the goal square, just a little Joe the Goose over the top.
Still enough time, but you just sense the Bo, there's been none better than him for Eagle Hawk. He just tackling is severe against Formosa. Spills to the outer side wing. The intensity is up. Eagle Hawk will come again. It's a kick to half forward. Knott receives it. Now he slows down. Left footer inside forward 50. They'll set themselves.
Oh, he's got it, hasn't he?
Fallon, juggling mark. He stuck up the left juke.
Fell into his lap.
It just fell into his lap. It did. I like your work. It just rolled down his arm into his chest. It was one of those type scenarios. And on a pretty tight angle, 45 degrees, if not more, he'll line them up.
Kicked a lovely goal a bit earlier, didn't he? So let's see if he can repeat the dose.
Man on the mark is at 40. He starts at 60. So he'll cross the paint mark of 50. Left footer. Long high ball. It won't make the distance. They'll set themselves at the top of the square. Oh, soccer off the ground, out of the air. I reckon the play was Riley Saunders. He was laying on his back like a turtle. Just flung his boot at it. And that's his second. And dare I say it, if you're kicking goals like that, you ought to start celebrating. Eagle Hawk 16-7, 103. The Storm 11-6, 72. 15 in the last on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
You know things are going your way when you can be laying on your back and put it through like that. It was superbly done by Riley Saunders. And you can hear the Borough faithful behind us. They are giving him a massive ovation as he heads towards the bench. But the key stat for this half is 9 marks inside forward 50 for Eagle Hawk. Just 1 for Strathfield State since half-time.
So can the Storm come again? Not in the ruck for Eagle Hawk. Knocked it wide. Dowd outpointed his opponent cleverly. Pushed him away from the footy. Won it. Kicked it forward to Payne. Juggling attempt at the mark. Not successful. Ball rolls off his fingertips and out of play. It'll be a throw in. About 75 around from the Storm goal. Out of side. 16, ticking up to the 16-minute mark of the final term. Eagle Hawk with a 31-point lead, thanks to Aussie Disposals.
Looks like Sandhurst will win this netball in the A grade. They've gone to 53 against Gisborne 47 in our second extra time over there at the netball. So it can't be long left in that game. Now we're inside forward 50 for the Storm, but Atherton running with the fly to the footy for the two Blues, the Borough. He'll spread it wide now to bring it broadcast side to Hommelhoff. Inside defensive 50, down the wing. One-on-one contest. I reckon the Storm player is going to be rewarded. Hunter Lawrence. He landed on his back, probably winded him. McPhee was away for the Borough. Short pass to Calgary. By hand to Donaldson. Inside forward 50. for the Storm. Looks for Payne. Bounces to the back of the pack. Over the line. 10 metres out from goal for the Storm. Will throw it in.
Geez, you can feel the atmosphere just going up another level, Ronnie, haven't you?
Well, I tell you what, they've got a fair chore in front of them now, the Storm. 31 points behind. And we're more than midway through the quarter. So, tough ask. Throw it in the forward pocket. Robertson had the best of that, but he knocked it straight back towards the boundary line. And we'll do it again. 31-point lead to Eagle Hawk at the 17-minute mark of the final quarter. As Strathfield say, are deep in their forward zone. Throw in. The ball knocked to ground. A couple of players overran it. Bo dives in on top of it. They dive in on top of him. The umpire said he had no chance to get that ball out. I'll toss it up. 35, maybe only 30 out from the Storm goal.
It's been 5 goals kicked in this term. 4 of them to Eagle Hawk, who are kicking against the breeze, against the wind. Not for Eagle Hawk. Taps it to his feet. Eagle Hawk players diving in after it. They can sense blood in the water here. As another ball up. And it looks like the netball is all over, she wrote. Gisborne have been defeated by Sandhurst. Sandhurst are premiers for season 2018 in the A grade as the ball's kicked long out of side wing. That was Riley McIver for Eagle Hawk. And the Storm, they'll get a penalty free kick on the outer side. So congratulations to Sandhurst for winning the netball. It must have been a really close contest over there.
Yep, Benny Lester with a free kick from that out of bounds on the full, Johnny. Gonna just chip it in short to Donaldson, who marks, but he's a long way from goal. Don't think even he could kick it that far. He'd have to kick it 80 metres. He's just going to set it up. It'll land about 30 out for the Storm. Huge leap. No mark. Ground level. Chance for Wallace. He slipped over at the vital moment, though. Went to ground and over the line with the ball. We'll have a throw in. 25 around from the Storm goal. 18 and a half into this final term. Thanks to Holden, Colorado at Poyser Holden. Eagle Hawk have a 31-point lead.
They'll go in the ruck. Knott again does the ruck work. Spills wide. Work it through Hill. He'll send it again down the outer side wing. But Donaldson, a one clunker, outer side. He's been serviceable today. He's really been a workhorse. Since Kerno went off injured, he's had to double his output. Now it's a good work, heavy side. But Hommelhoff on half back, just dropped the ball at the last moment. McPhee offers support. He can't gather it. Umpire lets it go. Hommelhoff comes again on half back for Eagle Hawk. And the non-officiating umpire, who is 40 metres away, has picked out a free kick to the Storm.
Stamping his authority.
Yeah, good on him. That's the reason you've got a number of them. It was Donnan, sends it inside forward 50. Got to support the umpires, boys. It is Shanahan. That's $1. As we goes over the other side, to the outer side wing. Good work by Fallon. Fallon squeezes it out outer side. Not. In fact, the ball goes along the ground, treading water. Things have slowed down a little bit on the outer side. And again, we throw it in. Eagle Hawk 16-7, 103. The Storm 11-6, 72. 20 minutes in the last. Bendigo's Fresh FM. Local footy is our first choice.
Not up in the ruck. Knocked it clear. Chance for Harper. Slung by the one arm, but got boot to ball. And the mark taken by Neves, who's been certainly one of Eagle Hawk's best. Drives it low inside the 50. Couldn't find a teammate. Storm defenders. The handball's fed it. Now, what's the umpire saying? High tackle. Going to come back to the Storm. Is it Robertson under all that? No, it's Dwyer. We'll take the free kick for some high contact.
Sandhurst go back-to-back in the A-grade netball as well, Ron. So congratulations to the Dragons.
Good effort there as Dwyer with the free kick. Yeah, what's happened here?
Out the full, Ron.
Kicked it out in the full, did he? I just dropped my glasses for a moment. So Eagle Hawk with the free. Ball is with Daly, goes short to Knott, and he's got it on the wing.
Knott, he's had a pretty good game too in my eyes. Knott will go back to Daly short. It's a short pass on the left. Takes a chest mark. Right up against the boundary line. Swimming pool side.
Just playing a bit of control tempo footy at the moment, aren't they? We see they're happy to the status quo.
Sting's gone out of it now, mate.
Yep.
Certainly hasn't out of the crowd, but it certainly has out in the middle.
Certainly so much so. Eagle Hawk bring it back in defensive 50
This bloke's
to
been good
Miles.
too.
Now they'll bring it back. It was almost that reverse horseshoe, which I absolutely love. Mullen. He goes to the wing. Mullen receives it back. Eaglehawk, Hommelhoff takes a chest mark. Off you go. He'll kick it to a hard lead. Oh, it's too severe. Back of the pack. Harper dishes it off by hand. Looks for Knott. 60 out from goal. Storm, they'll just hold it up. Squeeze it over the top. This is Hommelhoff. Here's another chance for Eaglehawk. 48 out from goal. We're all tied up, and the umpire will ball it up. Eaglehawk 16-7, 103. The Storm 11-6, 72. We're in red time of the 2018 Grand Final.
Collins might have been held without it from that stoppage. The umpire let it go. Oh, Formosa tried to just kick it out of mid-air. That was a little dangerous, and the umpire's going to pay a free kick against him. And Eaglehawk are going to get a shot at goal here. Brody Collins, is it, who's coming back with the footy. Both the Collins boys have been good today. So the free kick for the kicking in danger or kicking with the chance of injuring someone has been paid. Jesse Collins with the free kick. Very kickable. 40 out, directly in front. Fires, and he has missed. But it might not matter in the grand scheme of things. Eaglehawk 16-8, 104. Stratfield say 11-6, 72. 23 minutes almost played in this final quarter, thanks to Holden Colorado at Poyser Holden.
It's a long ball by the Storm outside. 50. Umpire lets it go. Spills to Shannon Geary. Over the top more. He did well. Still off half back. They'll come now. Inside centre square.
High.
Too high. Umpire.
Oh,
let it go. I like it when they let it go.
oh, come on, Johnny.
That's all right. Hugh Robertson got shoved. Might reverse it. Atherton looks sore at the bottom of the pack. It is.
Keep an eye on that.
Donaldson receives a handball for the Storm. Inside forward 50. Coates is there. 1-on-1. Can't win over the top. Tyler Miles, as reliable as ever, puts a fist on it. 45 out from goal. We'll throw it in.
Lockie Atherton back up on his feet.
So throw in, it's about 40 around from the Storm goal. Tossed in, Eaglehawk with a big lead, 32 points late in the grand final. Robertson dives in. Eaglehawk player underneath, all that's going to get a free kick. A little bit of push and shove. Now this Eaglehawk player is not 100%. And it is Josh Bowe.
Just soaking up the time.
Yep, you're right.
Very smart.
Very smart player. You'll be enjoying this last few minutes, you'd fancy. Goes in short to Madden. So he seems okay, Bo. Madden's got the mark. 40 from the goal. He's defending. Wants to go out wide. The leader's on out there. Mark not held by McGlashan. Storm will bring it back inside the 50. Miles underneath it. Mark will free kick.
Yep.
Later. And Tyler Miles, who's been resolute today, as he has week in, week out, will take the free kick.
Last free kicks given away to Eaglehawk have been by Hugh Robertson.
Yep.
Robertson. This is the time in a grand final that if you're an Eaglehawk player, you can sit back and just start to enjoy it. Do you think it's too early? No, it's not, of course.
No, it's not. We're 25 minutes in, it's a 32-point lead, so I would be fairly confident in saying Johnny Eaglehawk are going to win.
The disappointments of last year are being washed away in front of our eyes here as a free kick will go to Miles for Eaglehawk in his defensive zone. He'll go deep into his back pocket. McGlashan now holds him up. In fact, it might be Neves. It is Neves. Neves goes short. And, you know, well, I'd almost say it was late. It was laconic, to say the best. Laconic. And he put it out of bounds on the full, and he lets Bonnie in with a chance to kick a goal late in this term. Bonnie now. Rifle Brigade pocket. Starts it right. Stays right. It's not going to matter. The Storm 11-7, 73. The Borough 16-8, 104. 26 in the last. Thanks to Aussie Disposals. Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
And they've had equal inside 50s in this last quarter. Since the up Eaglehawk end, which has set up this win.
So, Glenn Daly brings it in. Little dangerous, but it was well weighted to kick. His teammate wore one for his corner. That was Brody Collins. He's going to chip it out wide. Player out there on his own is Sean Knott. Takes the mark. He's at half back pretty much, hard on the boundary, out of side. So the Borough content to just take their time, milk the clock down. They have a 31-point lead. The kick up towards or forward of the wing, no mark taken. Number of players dive on the footy and the umpire says, give it to me, I will come in and officiate and throw it back up. 27 into the final term. Eagle Hawk lead by 31 points, thanks to Priority One Property.
It's all over bar the shouting here, and they will be shouting out at the Borough at famous Canterbury Park tonight. You think they'll be going right off on this weekend. It's absolutely magnificent. Grand final football. The kick goes to the outer side wing. It's Eagle Hawk. I'll move it inside forward 50. Bow dishes it off a handball. Kick is just smothered off the boot. Hard up against the line. Storm will kick it back the other way, and a mark has been taken by the Borough by McPhee. And 50 out.
He's had a good game too, hasn't he?
He has. Couldn't be any further away from us if he tried. Once upon a time, this was called the Sam Mildren Pocket. We've seen him kick a number of goals from there. But this is McPhee for the Borough. Long and strong to the goal line. Off hand. Sock it off the ground. It's a goal, Eagle Hawk.
Jonty Neves.
Well, wrap it up and give me a Christmas present. He was standing right on the line for his second, fell into his path, and he just banged it straight on the boot. And if there ever needed to be a sealer, that was it. Eagle Hawk 17-8, 110. The Storm 11-7, 73, 28 in the last, thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
In public holiday in Eagle Hawk on Monday, Ronnie, will they?
I reckon just about. They'll be very, very happy, no doubt about that, after last year's disappointment. It's going to taste pretty sweet for Borough fans, this one. Ruck contest in the middle. Dill Williams took it, cleared the ball to half forward for Eagle Hawk. Off hands, Saunders, check side, Conforti marks. 25 out directly in front.
Can he kick this one?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's all academic.
Off.
But look, he's been good.
Yeah.
Eagle Hawk haven't had too many poor players today. Brenton Conforti's only kicked the one goal, but he's had a couple of shots. I think this is his fourth shot at goal, so he'll be keen to kick his second goal. Bit of icing on the cake, as they say. Conforti fires and puts it right through the middle and celebrates. He's got the arms up, runs to the middle of the ground. His second goal, and Eagle Hawk go further ahead, 18-8, 116. Strathfield say 11-7, 73, 29 gone. Thanks to Aussie Disposals. Here's Paul Wicks.
It's pretty good sounds from the crowd when the Eagle Hawk crowd have been singing the song for the last 15 minutes. So, it's pretty massive atmosphere right to the end.
There may be some interesting chants coming from behind the goals as well, but you're not going to be able to hear yourself when that final siren goes. This is absolutely amazing. What a story for footy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, we've skipped out to 43 points
43, you're right.
in the blinking of an eye. The Storm, can they just get some respectability back through Calgary, who kicks it long to half forward? It's all academic, however, because Daly, the architect, off half back, was an awkward kick to Collins in the middle. Neves receives a handball. He'll run by hand to Hommelhoff. He's got space and time. He won't blaze. Oh, mark's been taken again by Eagle Hawk.
Time.
It is party time. Sean Williams is getting amongst it as well. And aren't they just lapping it up here, the Borough? Sean Williams, he's kicked 59 on the year in 19 games. Today he's kicked 4. This will be his 5th.
I said a couple of weeks ago that he averages about 5 goals a broadcast.
Sean Williams. I don't have to say anything. The crowd says it all. The Borough surge ahead in the 2018 Grand Final. 19-8, 122. The Storm 11-7, 73. 31 minutes in the last. Thanks to Holden, Colorado at Poyser Holden. Bendigo's Fresh FM, where local footy is our first choice.
Well, it is party time over that bridge out there, Ronnie. It's going to be a big one out there at the Borough for the next few days.
Last flag 2008, I think, Josh. So 10 years. They'll really enjoy this one as they come out of the middle again. Handball out wide by McPhee. Finds Mullen, who's been really good for him. Long inside 50, not this time. Shannon Geary cuts it off, 30 from the goal. He's defending, sends it back towards the middle of the ground. Wasn't his best kick. Wasn't marked by the Eagle Hawk player who was in front, went to the back. Daly, though, outpoints Don, and he's had a quiet grand final. The ball is with Shanahan of the Storm. Around the body to half forward. Knocked away by Tyler Miles. The Storm control it, though. They can kick it back towards half forward. And the mark taken by Robertson goes square. Hummeloff takes the mark. But, John, it's a Borough flag in 2018.
Certainly is. Final siren here. And aren't the crowd going berserk? They're running out into the middle. The final score here, Eagle Hawk 19-8, 122. The Storm 11-7, 73. A 49-point margin on Bendigo's Fresh FM, thanks to Priority One Property, where local footy is our first choice.
Well, what a cracker for the Borough.
Let me tell you this, let me give you a stat that matters. Eagle Hawk, they kicked.
Thank you, everyone. We'll start with our presentation. Bendigo Football Netball League, the second grand final of the season 2018. What a day it's been. A couple of grand finals to complete the day. Sandhurst winning the A-grade netball extra side. For the grand final, Dean Goodrich. John Norton.
Part of it too much.
And Paul Hutchinson. Boundary umpires, Lachlan Purden. Connor Gibson. Adrian Zingfelder. And Liam Brown. And our two goal umpires, Will McGee and Wayne. Well done to all our umpires. Thank you for your efforts today. We have two best on ground medals for the senior grand final. Of course, we have the Nolden medal and the WorkSafe AFL Victoria medal. The Nolden medal is awarded each year to the player adjudged to have been best of field in the senior grand final. And in 2018, the Nolden medalist, number 13 from Eagle Hawk, Jonty. Thanks to Andrew Emery for presenting the Nolden medal for season 2018. To present the WorkSafe AFL Victoria medal from AFL Central Victoria, Shane Cook. The winner of the WorkSafe AFL Victoria medal from Eagle Hawk, number 14, Brodie Collins. Firstly, well done to Eagle Hawk, Joshy Bow. You boys thoroughly deserved too good today. Really important to us and performing was a great game for you boys, so well done. To our boys, obviously not the way we want to finish, but let's use this now for motivation for next year. I just want to thank our boys for the season they've had. Really put in and things didn't go our way today, but now we look to next year and hopefully we go one more step next year. Thanks to all the supporters that come down today and made it a great day for all the players out there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Troy, and congratulations to Strathfield State on a fine season. We'll now award our Premiership medallions for season 2018 to present players with their Premiership medallions. We have Carol McKinstry, the chair of the BENDIGOFNL board, and also some of our Oz kickers in the Eagle Hawk jumpers as well. And we'll ask each player to come up, present their Oz kicker with a footy and a hat, and receive their medal. We'll start at the top of the list. For Eagle Hawk, number 1, Sean Williams. Number 2, Ben McPhee. Number 4, Jack Fallon. Number 5, Riley McIver. Number 6, Dylan Williams. Number 8, Tyler. On your bucket, boys! Number 10, Jesse Collins. Number 12, Cameron Mogalashi. Number 13 and the 2018 Nolan medalist, Johnny Neves. Number 14 and our AFL Victoria medalist, Brody Collins. Got a feeling our next one might get a loud cheer. Number 16, Glenn. Number 17, Riley Saunders. Number 18, Brenton Conforti. Number 20, Lockie at the back. Number 26, Jed Homoloff. Number 27, Oscar Madden. Number 31, Joel Mullen. Number 32, Sam. Number 37, the man who loves the Queen of the Noble, Sean Knox. Number 40, Sam Thompson. And as Sam collects his medal, that leaves us with 2. First, Eagle Hawks captain in 2018, number 11, Sid. And the Premiership coach of Eagle Hawk.
Firstly, thanks to Coatsy and Stratford side. We can go back to being mates again in our Coatsy. Quality side, we knew we were in for a fight today. It's been such a good battle over the last couple of years, and we know how dangerous you are, but it was our turn this year. Thanks to the umpires for today and for the season. They do a good job. A lot goes into running a footy club, so thanks to the league for getting us out there each week. So much goes on behind the scenes, so big thanks to the BFL and all the officials and making sure we get out there each week. I'll leave our boys to last, but just before I get to them, I just wanted to thank my coaching staff. Such a big job. Lyndon Jacobs, Jeremy Brown, Peter Gibbs, Joshy Gibson. Let's give them a big round of applause. And the work that everyone puts into the club. It's such a fantastic club. 138 years of history. The support we had today, the crowd, the community, it was evident in how loud the crowd was. We felt that out there. So just thanks to everyone for getting out in numbers. Fantastic stuff. Thank you. Make sure you all head back over the brits tonight. We'll have a couple. Now to our fellas, so many stories in this group. Jonty Neves dislocated his elbow, he played with a broken arm today and he's won the medal. Massive effort. Glenn Daly. Glenn Daly's played 250 games, lost 3 flags, got dropped, been injured, missed back-to-back. So, so many stories coming out of the group. Roddy Collins, Sammy Thompson coming back from the knee. Everyone, I can keep going, and I think we will for the next couple of days. There'll be a few stories that'll grow and catch up. Right, boys, yeah!
Stories don't become legend, and I think a few of those may be etched into folklore out of Eagle Hawk in years to come. Our last order of business is the presentation of the Bendigo Advertiser Cup. The 2018 premiers, and I'll call on Carol McKinstry from the BENDIGOFNL board to present to Tim Hill and Josh Bowe. The Bendigo Advertiser Premiership. Season 2018, your premiers, Eagle Hawk.
Yeah.